Out on the left wing here, the Buffaloes go to work. No score so far in this one. First of a doubleheader, girl-boy doubleheader tonight here on KOKK. Here's another three attempted from the corner by Norman, and that one is good. So Cameron Norman will open the scoring, and a 3-0 Buffalo lead. Paige Wordle right wing. Kolda around the horn they go. Left corner to Lichty. Wordle to Kolda on the right wing. Down in the right corner for Grayson Wordle. And around the horn they go to Schlechter in the left corner. She nearly lost it. Almost had it taken away, and now here is a steal. Maddie Duffy stepping in and knocking it away for the Buffaloes. A 3-0 Stanley County lead. 6:15 to play opening quarter. Right wing, here's McGee. The baseline drive fouled by Kolda. First of the night on Kolda. First on her team. 6:09 to play opening quarter. 3-0 Buffs as Stanley County sets to inbound after the first Miller foul. They get it into hand in the paint. She'll go right to the rack. And a foul will send her to the free throw line. See who the second Miller foul is on. And it looks to be Aaliyah Schlechter. So that'll be her first, team second. To the free throw line with Cadence Hand. Hand, a 5'11 senior, looking for her first point of the night, and it's up and in. So Hand solid on the first. Second is airborne, and that one rattles, but it's going to go. 5-0 Stanley County. 6:07 left, opening quarter, inbound to Kolda. Kolda across midcourt. Still on the dribble, looking to dump it off right side, does to Grayson Wordle. Wordle looking for a give and go, Kolda well covered. Lichty on the left wing. Right side for Wordle, and she'll back it away. Here's Lichty to Kolda left side, a little isolation. Now a drive to the basket by Schlechter, a nice pass inside, a shot on the way by Paige Wordle, and that one is good. So Wordle, the first basket for Miller. Rustler's trying to trap the Buffs just across the timeline. It's McGee, and she's in trouble. Ball turns over. Wordle got it and got the foul. Stanley County trying to get that one back. Maddie Duffy will pick up her first. Her team's second. 5:33 to play opening quarter. Miller with the basketball, trailing 5-2 here at home. Stanley County 0-1 on the year, lost on Tuesday. Miller's first matchup. Nice cut by Grayson Wordle. Can't finish, though. Rebound, Stanley County. Here's Duffy the other way. Right corner, Briggs. A long two, and that one is good. Oh, that was Cam Norman. So she's got all five. Well, she's got both of the field goals for Stanley County as they lead 7-2. Kolda in the left corner. Top of the key now for Paige Wordle. Wordle right corner. Here's a three from Grayson. That one is no good. Long rebound, though, by Kolda. And Miller will get another look. That did catch iron. And now a travel as Kolda switched the pivot foot. Miller will give it back here, trailing 7-2. 4:48 to play in quarter number one. Our first of two. Remember, we'll have both games of a girl-boy doubleheader tonight on KOKK. Pass intended for Hand, almost knocked away. Kiara Briggs there to collect it, and now she's trapped. She splits the double team and then double dribbled, and they got her for it. Turnover back to Miller. Nice defense there, forcing Briggs into the turnover. Kolda will inbound to Grayson Wordle. Wordle across the timeline, 4.5 to play opening quarter. Miller trails 7-2. Kolda isolation on the left-hand side with Hand. Swings it up top to Grayson, back to Kolda left side. They're setting up Schlechter in the paint. Pick and roll, nobody there. Kolda flips it up top of the key to Wordle. Here's Grayson to Page in the right corner, back up top for Grayson. Shot clock at 10. Kolda looking at three, deep three, knocked it down. Morgan Kolda from long range. 7-5, Rustlers down 2. Across the timeline is Duffy. Here's Norman. Flips it back inside to Duffy. Duffy looking underneath the hand, through her hands, picked off by Kolda. Kolda the other way, leading the charge all the way to the rack, steps through, knocks it down, and traveled. Turnover back to Stanley County. Rustlers thought they had a basket and one. As it turns out, no basket or possession. Rachel Runge coming in for the first time tonight. And also in his, let's see, we'll get that in a minute. Here's a ball knocked away, nearly stolen, and Wordle can't quite haul it in. Rachel Runge definitely on for Stanley County. Actually, that might be it for now, and it was. Shy of the timeline, here's Hand. Still across the timeline for Duffy. Now Duffy across midcourt as they break up that 10-second call. Norman looking at the corner three, drives baseline, gives it up on the right wing, and now a turnover as Runge. Oh, no, they collected it in the backcourt, but yeah, that should be an over and back, and it will be a turnover to Miller. So the Rustlers get it back, trailing 7-5 with 3:20 to play in the first. Also into the ball game here is Journey Schnee. Rustlers with the ball, trailing 7-5. 3:15 left in the first quarter. Cold on the right wing for the Rustlers. On the dribble, looking at the three. Nope, looking to dump it inside. Nope, swings it around the horn. They go to Grayson Wordle in the left corner. Wordle trying to work it to Lichty. Here's Kolda open for three at the top of the key. No good, but a long rebound by Grayson Wordle, and they'll get another look. That one did catch iron. Fresh shot clock here as Lichty looks at a long corner shot, won't take it. Dumps it off now to Schlechter. Schlechter trying to pass it inside, turned it over, but the Buffaloes can't get the pass up court to work out, and they turn it right back over to the Rustlers. Inside, Schlechter cannot get the basket, but does get a whistle. And she'll go to the free throw line. That'll be the third here of the game for Stanley County. And it'll be on Rachel Runge. That's her first. Seven, 5 Buffs. And it looks like the officials, a quick question from the scorers table is Schlechter going to get ready to shoot two. First free throw is on the way and good. Leah Schlechter's first point of the evening. 7-6 now Buffaloes, and a chance here for Schlechter to tie it up. 2:57 left opening quarter. Second free throw rattles out. Hand there for the rebound, and the Buffs will hold on to a 1-point lead. Ball knocked away by Wordle, and here's a layup by Grayson, and it's good. So Grayson Wordle off the steal by Page, and the Rustlers have their first lead at 8-7. Here's Maddie Duffy across a couple, or past a couple of defenders. Duffy all the way into the paint. She's going all the way to the rack. The scoop came up shy. Lichty for the rebound. Over to Grayson Wordle. Grayson across the timeline, sets up right wing. Now Lichty to Kolda, left corner for Paige Wordle. Back up top. Grayson looks at three. Nope. Down in the right corner for Lichty. Paige to Kolda, 10 on the shot clock. Inside for Schlechter, and another whistle, and more free throws are coming. Rustlers going to bring Madeline Saenga in. Saenga 9 points in the JV game that the Rustlers won. Emma Pugh had 10 in that game. The foul was called on Caden's hand, her first, team's fourth, and a free throw here for Schlechter is good. So Aaliyah with 2 points now, and the Rustlers have a 2-point lead, 9-7. Aaliyah Schlechter back to the line. Minute 50 left opening quarter. Second free throw's on the way and good. Schlechter is 3 out of 4 from the line. All 3 of her points from the stripe, and Miller leads 10-7. Buffs up court here. All the way to the rack again is Duffy, and again can't quite get the finish, but this time gets a foul. So Duffy can get ready to shoot a couple of free throws here. And we'll see who this one is on for Miller. Looks like Kolda, and that's going to be her second. Third on the team. Kolda's second. Not a shooting foul, so Stanley County will inbound. Here's a long two off the window. No good for Hand. The rebound grabbed by Paige Wordle. She got tied up, and a jump ball will stay with Stanley County. Well, JV scores brought to you by the Mirror Family Hair Care, downtown Huron. JV games earlier tonight. The JV boys, Stanley County wins 55-32. The JV girls, Miller wins 33-14. Emma Pugh had 10. Madeline Saenga, who just got in the game here for the varsity, 9. As the Miller JV girls win, and now the varsity girls trying to repeat defeat. Here's another jump ball, and this one will stay with Miller. Into the game is number 13, Brecken Hubner. Inbounds here into the backcourt for Grayson Wordle. Minute 20 to play opening quarter. Miller leads 10-7. Stanley County jumped out to a 5-0 lead, a 7-2 lead. Rustlers stormed back, 5 unanswered to lead 10-7, and nearly threw it into the backcourt, and now they did. Oh, no, it didn't. No over and back there. Must have been touched by a Buffalo. Left wing, pass inside, cutting to the basket is Grayson Wordle. Grayson can't get it to go. Rebound, Stanley County. Briggs stepping in for the board. Briggs going to leave it for Duffy. Duffy fighting with Paige Wordle in the backcourt. Paige had her locked down for a moment there. Gets it across the timeline in a pass to McGee. McGee in the corner. A pass underneath. Saenga knocks it out of bounds. Miller going to check Kate Lichty back in. Lichty going to replace Paige Wordle. 43 seconds left opening quarter. 18 on the shot clock. 10-7 Rustlers. Stanley County with the ball. Buffaloes inbounding on their end. Will bring it into Duffy. Duffy on the right wing for Hubner. Back to Duffy. Duffy drives baseline. Swings it outside. A 3 on the way for Briggs is no good. Rebound tipped out of bounds off Schlechter. And the Buffaloes can hold for the final shot of the quarter as the shot clock will be off. 31 seconds to play opening quarter. 10-7 Miller. Inbounds on the wing for Hand. Hand all the way to the basket off the window, and it rolled out. Rebound Schlechter. Schlechter had it nearly taken away. Then Saenga took it away. And a jump ball will stay with Stanley County. So after all that, the Buffs will have their third opportunity to score here at the end of the opening quarter. Still 23 seconds left in the first. Inbounds is a lob off a hand and into the hands of Maddie Duffy. Boy, nearly turned it over again. Duffy's pass inside for Hubner, and Hubner is fouled. That'll be 5 in the quarter, so is that free throws? I think that's free throws. I'm still getting used to the new rule here. Fouls on Madeline Saenga. Oh, it's the 4th team foul. Lob it on the right wing for Hand. Another chance here for Stanley County to score before the break. They trail 10-7. Duffy at the free throw line. Back outside to Hand. Hand in the corner. Here's a 3 on the way and no good, but a nice offensive board. Oh, and the putback will not go for Schnee. And then Saenga grabs the ball, and Schnee just kind of turned right into her. I don't think they're going to end up calling anything on this. Nope, no call there. Saenga just incidental contact, I guess. 1 second left in the quarter, and they'll inbound, and that'll be it. After a quarter of basketball, Miller leads Stanley County 10-7. We're back in a minute. 60 seconds on 12:10 KOKK.
Want a brand new vehicle? Need a low monthly payment? At Olympic Chevrolet Buick GMC in Huron, it's the least we can do. Leased vehicles mean reduced maintenance costs and tax benefits. Save on a new Buick Encore GX. Lease now only $399 a month. Or choose a 2024 Chevy Trax. Lease for only $299 a month. Drive home a new GMC 1500 Crew Cab. Lease for $642 a month. It's the least we can do at the new Olympic Chevrolet Buick GMC in Huron. New name, same great service.
When is the right home truly the right home? This is Reg Kleinsasser with the Real Estate Connection. First, can you afford it? Beyond the purchase price, you need to consider utility costs, maintenance costs, and property taxes. All of these factors add to the actual cost of a new home. Does the home meet your needs? Buying a large house when your kids are heading off to college in a few years, or paying for a view of the lake when you are hardly home, probably doesn't make sense. At the Real Estate Connection, we are dedicated to helping you find a home that meets your needs without breaking your budget. We're ready to help you find the right home today. Give us a call, 352-1300, or visit our website, realestatehuron.com.
Your headquarters for sports is Dakota Sports on KOKK.
Fresh 8 up on the board. 10-7, the Rustlers lead. They trailed 5-0. They trailed 7-2. Closed out that quarter on an 8-0 run to take a 10-7 lead. Stanley County with opportunities at the end of the quarter, but couldn't cash in. Buffs will start this quarter with the ball. Quick 10-foot jumper, no good for Kason McGee, and Miller with the rebound. Pass ahead here to Jolie Palmer into the game off the quarter break. Palmer on the left wing up top. Grayson around the horn. They go to J.C. Pugh, who just got in off the bench for Miller. Lob inside now. Here's a quick turnaround off the window, and that one rattles home for Faith Baumberger. Baumberger, another reserve into the game off the break, and the Rustlers now lead 12-7. Rustlers changing up the lineup a little bit, or maybe that wasn't. Maybe that was Lichty. Yeah, that was Lichty. Your broadcaster is also not in midseason form, but it's not midseason, so we're good. Here's a turnover by the Buffs. Tried to swing it out on the wing. Nobody home. So the Rustlers will inbound, leading 12-7. And just as they inbound, an official going to stop play, and inadvertent whistle. We'll try it over. 7:05 left in the first half. 12-7 Miller. Rustlers a chance now to extend their biggest lead of the game. They trailed by 5 at a couple of points in the opening quarter, but an 8-0 run to close out the quarter. And now a basket to start here, and now the basketball back. Nice baseline drive by Paige Wordle. Wordle able to finish that one off, and then a steal on the inbounds. Wordle can't hit, but an offensive board by Grayson. The putback won't go. Now the rebound to the Buffs is, boy, Miller pouring it on, coming on strong here to start the second quarter. Maybe a little too strong, as now J.C. Pugh will pick up her first foul.
That's number 22, J.C. Pugh. First personal.
Aaliyah Schlechter back on for Miller, will replace Pugh. 6:34 left, quarter number 2, 14-7 Rustlers. And the inbounds into the backcourt, but nobody touched it, so the Buffs can chase that down without an over and back. And here's Paige Wordle streaking in to knock the ball out of bounds. So the Rustlers will set up for defense again. Well, the Rustlers, a 12-0 run here since they trailed 7-2 a couple minutes into the game. Rustlers have gone silent offensively, and here's a turnover, a travel. McGee just shy of the timeline, just took an extra step, mental error there, and a turnover back to Miller. So the Rustlers now a 7-point lead at 14-7. 6:20 to play first half with the ball. Top of the key. Here's Palmer. Left wing to Grayson Wordle, up top for Paige. Paige the drive, leaves it in the right corner for Palmer. Cross court, back to Grayson Wordle. Nice baseline drive, can't finish. Rebound batted around. Hand comes away with it. And a foul, I think, is going to go on Grayson Wordle, but we'll wait and see what the official says, and that's what he says. So Wordle's first, team second here in quarter number 2. 6:04 left in the second quarter. Rustlers up 14-7. Stanley County, the inbounds to Hand. Hand going to hand it off back to Maddie Duffy, and they will slowly make their way across the timeline. Here's Duffy out on the left wing. Pass, top of the key for McGee. McGee right side. Here's a 3 in the air and no good for Norman. Offensive rebound, though. Putback won't go for Hand. Rebound, Miller. Grayson Wordle on the board. Pass ahead to Palmer. Palmer drives baseline. Tried to scoop it to Lichty. Knocked away, stolen by the Buffs. Quick hands by Cameron Norman. Long pass down to Duffy. She nearly lost it, but finds the handle and lost it on the way to the basket. Is that a foul? For real? The officials are going to get together. I don't think they're going to call a foul. Yep, just white ball. It'll be Miller basketball. A turnover on Stanley County there. Buffs thought for a moment that they were going to get that ball, but the officials decide otherwise. Thought maybe they had a foul, just a straight turnover. So the Rustlers with the ball, again a 7-point lead. Right side, here's a long 2 by Grayson Wordle, and that one is good. Wordle from about 12 or 13 feet on the baseline, and now we'll get a timeout for Keeley Bracelet and the Stanley County Buffs, as they have been outscored 14-0 since open early on in the second quarter, or early on in the first quarter. 16-7 Miller right now. We'll send it back for a quick 30-second timeout on KOKK.
Do you know what your cattle are eating? Are they growing like you expect? At Dakota Land Feeds, their experienced feed consultants can help you be sure your cattle are getting everything they need to perform and what will help you increase your bottom line. Let Dakota Land Feeds help formulate the right ration to fit the needs of your cattle, whether you have growing calves, feedlot cattle, yearlings, or beef cows. Dakota Land Feeds has feed consultants across the territory to help serve you. See your local Dakota Land Feeds dealer today.
Dakota Sports is committed to excellence in sports broadcasting.
Well, scoreboard updates brought to you by the Mirror Family Hair Care, downtown Huron. Taking a look at the schedule. I know there wasn't a whole lot on it when I looked earlier. I know Wessington Springs has a game. They're taking on Falkton tonight. No report on that yet. Iroquois Lake Preston's taking on Oldham Ramona Rutland. No report there. Tigers are off tonight. Pretty light on the scoring updates. Scoring updates are brought to you by the Mirror Family Hair Care. Lori and Kylie at the Mirror, offering cuts, colors, waxes, perms, treatments, shampoo sets, eyelash extensions. What? All at the Mirror Family Hair Care, 35 4th Street Southeast, downtown Huron. Call or text Kylie at 605-553-1628 or call Lori at 605-883-HAIR. Make your appointment at the Mirror, and the Mirror brings us scoreboard updates. Again, not a lot on the old scoreboard tonight. Early season action. Here's Hand from 10 feet. Shot no good. Rebound by Paige Wordle. We saw Wessington Springs on Tuesday night. The girls got a win over Wolsey Wessington. A nice pass inside, and Lichty good off the window. Lichty with her second basket of the quarter. And Miller extends their lead 18-7. Have outscored Stanley County 16-0 since about 3 minutes into this game. Here's a steal. Kolda will take it away, and the Rustlers a chance to add on further. Pass inside. Schlechter had it knocked away in a travel. She had it knocked right back into her own hands and didn't have time to put it on the floor. Journey Schnee back in. Rachel Runge will check back on. They'll replace McGee and Hand. 4:13 left in the first half. 18-7 Rustlers. As Stanley County having a heck of a time with this full court Miller defense. Trying to inbound down there is Schnee. Again, the Rustlers knock it out of bounds. Comes Grayson Wordle back into the game. Wordle to replace Lichty. 4:11 left first half. 18-7 Miller. The Buffaloes have not scored since about the 3-minute mark of the opening quarter. Inbounds. McGee shy of the timeline. Stops the dribble. Got to get it across, and does in a pass to Briggs. Briggs looking for a lob inside. Hit Runge. Runge back out. Long two is in the air. And no good. Rebound is out of bounds, I believe, off Stanley County, and it will be. So the Miller Rustlers will inbound. It'll be Jolie Palmer to bring it in. Palmer into Kolda. Midway point of the second quarter. Miller's lead is 11. They trailed by 5 about 3.5 minutes in and have outscored Stanley County by 16 since. Pass inside. Here's a ball knocked away from Jolie Palmer. And it'll be out of bounds off Stanley County. Palmer wanted a whistle as a foul, but they do get to keep the basketball. Grayson Wordle set to bring it in for the Rustlers. In the corner for Kolda. Kolda almost had it knocked away. Nice hands there by Maddie Duffy, but Kolda able to get it under control. Top of the key. Here's a long two by Schlechter. No good. Offensive rebound, though, grabbed by Palmer, and now a whistle will send Palmer to the free throw line. We'll see who the foul is called on. Be Cameron Norman. Her first, and that'll be Stanley County's first of the quarter. It will be a shooting foul, and we'll go to the free throw line now. First free throw is up, and no good. Wordle with one more here. The Rustlers as a team are 3 out of 5 from the line. Leah Schlechter herself is 3 out of 4. Wordle with one more on this trip. A couple of field goals tonight for Wordle. She'll miss both free throws, and it'll stay 18-7 Miller. Stanley County the rebound. Briggs, lob ahead, knocked away, nearly stolen, but taking it back is McGee. And now a 10-second call, a backcourt violation. And the Miller Rustlers will take over once again. When for Stanley County and their head coach, Keely Braceland, frustration's got to be pretty high at this point. Led 17-2. Now trail 18-7. Here's a three from the corner. No good. Rebound grabbed by Runge. Runge, a lob ahead for Briggs. Briggs on the left wing. Cold out to defend. Briggs going baseline. Shut down by Colda. Kicks it back out to Runge. Runge on the wing is trapped. A lob inside is tipped away right back to Runge. Here's a drive by Duffy. Ball knocked away and a steal by Paige Wordle. Wordle going all the way to the rack. Can't scoop it up and in. Got her own rebound. Let's try it again. It won't go a second time. Rebound this time tipped into the hands of Maddie Duffy. Duffy ahead to Briggs across the timeline for Hubner. Hubner back to Duffy, setting the screen at the top of the key. Duffy looks at three, won't pull the trigger. Hubner cutting to the basket. Tried to give it back to Duffy. And a foul on Miller. The official will wait for the official to come over on this one. It'll be the third on Miller here in the quarter, and it'll be the second, or first rather, on Jolie Palmer. Comes Lichty back on. J.C. Pugh is back in. Rustlers lead by 11, 18-7, 2:35 left here in the first half. Duffy halfway down the lane, throws it up with the left. No good. Rebound Lichty. Lichty ahead to Schlechter. Aaliyah across the timeline. Duffy hassling her defensively. Pass up top, Lichty. Now Grayson Wordle on the wing right side. Lichty back up top, left wing to Pugh. Looking inside, they'll keep it out. Right wing Wordle, try to shoot it inside. Ball knocked away, stolen by Duffy. Maddie Duffy the other way. Across the timeline, we'll leave it up top for Briggs. Duffy sets the screen. They lob it inside. Here's a fadeaway on the way and no good for Hubner, but a whistle will send Brecken Hubner to the free throw line, and maybe she can get the Buffs on the board. Kate Lichty's first, team's fourth of the quarter. 2:01 to play in the half. Miller an 18-7 lead. Here's Hubner. First free throw off the window is good. She called it. Buffs are 3 of 3 from the line. His hand is back on. She'll replace Runge as Stanley County has cut into this Miller lead for the first time, well, since they've taken it. Second free throw again off the window, and Hubner knocks them both down. 18-9, Miller's lead back to single digits. Minute 56 left. Quarter number 2 here for Miller. Remember, both games of a doubleheader tonight. Here's another attempted pass to Schlechter, knocked away by hand, and Stanley County with another steal. Duffy across midcourt, looking to dump it off. Finds Hand on the wing, hand driving baseline. Back up top, ball popped up, chased down across the timeline by Briggs. Briggs off to Duffy. Duffy looking at a deep three, knocked it down. Maddie Duffy from long range. And the Rustler lead is 6 at 18-12. And here's a travel as Miller starts to crumble a bit as Stanley County on the comeback and the Rustlers stall out. Rustlers had an 8-0 advantage in this quarter, now 8-5. The lead was 11 down to 6. Right wing, here's Duffy. The drive, back out to Briggs. Briggs the three, blocked by Palmer. Or no, Wordle. Grayson Wordle getting up, blocking the three, and came down with the basketball. Here's Pugh on the right wing. She'll drive baseline. Trapped by Hand, had the ball knocked away. Pugh finds the handle. Around the horn they go, out near the timeline for Schlechter. Here's Lichty on the left wing now to Paige Wordle. Top of the key, a three for Grayson is off the mark. Rebound down to Stanley County. Ball knocked away. Here's a steal by Paige Wordle. And a whistle, should be a foul on Stanley County, I would think, trying to get the ball back, and that will be the case.
Number 12, Casey McGee.
Fouls on Casey McGee. Her second, team second. Pugh will check out with 38 seconds to play in the second quarter. Miller's lead is now 6. The inbound stolen away. A steal by Briggs, and then Briggs had got tied up by Lichty, and they're going to get the jump ball. Miller's going to get it back. Grayson Wordle again to bring it in. In the corner to Page. Top of the key back to Grayson. Right wing on the baseline drive is Palmer trying to flip it back up. Oh, she stepped on the baseline, out of bounds on Miller. And Stanley County will inbound, and I got to believe, yep, Miller will apply the full court pressure here as the Buffs had some real problems with it earlier. 18-12, Miller's lead once 11 is down to 6, and Hand breaks away from the pack and lays it in. Caden's Hand with her first field goal. Couple of free throws. She's got 4 points, and Miller's lead is down to 4, 18-14, as now the Rustlers have gone cold. And the Buffs are on a run. Final 5 seconds of the half. Left side, here's Palmer, the runner, up, no good, and that'll do it for the first half as Stanley County storms back after being down 11. They go on a little 7-0 run of their own to make it 18-14 Miller at the half. Back to the studios for a 2-minute timeout. We'll come back and wrap up the first half numbers. We'll take a gander at our scoreboard and get you ready for a second half of basketball. Remember, we have a boys game coming up later as well. Both games of a girl-boy doubleheader tonight on Dakota Sports. Stanley County at Miller this evening. Girls halftime score, Miller 18, Stanley County 14. We're back in 3 minutes with halftime. 3 minutes on KOKK.
Stop into Shooter's Saloon in Wolsey today for some good food, good drinks, and great time. Shooter's has new hours. They're open Monday through Friday, 3 to close, with the kitchen open 4 to 10. Shooter's is now open Saturdays, noon to close, with a lunch special and appetizers available noon to 4. Be sure to follow their Facebook page to find the weekly special and any drink specials they may be having. You can still get all their normal menu items like their delicious ribeye dinner, and of course Shooter's famous homemade pizzas 4 to 10 p.m. Monday through Saturday. Make your next stop at Shooter's Saloon in Wolsey.
Wilbur Ellis is a leading provider of innovative solutions in plant protection, plant nutrition, and field technology. They offer premier products and one-on-one relationships with local field experts to help their customers grow. Wilbur Ellis is committed to bringing you and your operation new and innovative ideas. Contact your local Wilbur Ellis specialist today to find out how to maximize your return on investment. Wilbur Ellis wishes all area high school athletes the best of luck this season.
Action news on the scene. Once again, a craft of some sort has crash landed. I can see movement coming from the craft.
Is it the sun? It is.
It's confirmed and emerging now. Exactly what we thought. It is the sun. Ty Clark has just emerged from the craft. He's the son of Kent Clark. And yes, they're teaming up like Superman and Boy Wonder. Father and son finally together. Kent Clark Insurance, Wessington. Equal opportunity provider. 458-2281. For your crop insurance needs.
Stretch's Well Service Incorporated would like to wish the Hitchcock-Tulare Patriots the best of luck in today's game. Stretch's Well Service does jobs all over South Dakota, including installation of artesian, shallow, and geothermal wells, and pump repair, installation, and irrigation work. Stretch's Well Service is your TNL irrigation dealer. Get a hold of Stretch or Jeremy and see what they can do for you. Stretch's Well Service of Hitchcock says, "Go Patriots!"
Cheddar Feedlot of Hitchcock is now selling bred heifers, Black Angus, Red Angus, Fancy F1 Baldy, A1 to Black, and A1 to Charlet. All cattle are ultrasounded for 21-day cycles. Call Tony for viewing at 605-350-0401. Cheddar Feedlot now selling bred heifers. Call them today. Again, call Tony, 605-350-0401. Go Patriots!
Brushing up? Bettering yourself? Or pursuing a degree? Huron Community Campus offers in-person classes at just $40 per credit hour plus fees. HCC offers courses through Northern State University, offering quality education at an exceptional value. To learn more, call Huron Community Campus at 605-353-8518. That's 605-353-8518.
This is Dakota Sports, committed to excellence in sports broadcasting. It's halftime.
That's right, and welcome back to Miller here. Halftime in our first of two as Stanley County in town tonight to take on the Miller Rustlers. Miller, their season opener for both boys and girls tonight. Stanley County's boys will play their first game. Stanley County's girls already played a game. They took a loss on Tuesday, so only record, I guess, to pass along would be the Stanley County girls so far at 0-1. Here at the half, Miller leads 18-14. Kind of a game of runs here. The Stanley County Buffaloes jumped out to a 5-0 and then a 7-2 lead to start this game. And then the Rustlers would go on a run to make it 18-7 late into the second quarter. And then a quick 7-0 run at the end of the quarter by Stanley County would cut it back to a 4-point game. Here at the half, Miller 18, Stanley County 14. Taking a look at your scoreboard here. Scoreboard updates are brought to you by the Mirror Family Hair Care. Lori and Kylie at the Mirror offering cuts, colors, waxes, perms, hair treatment, shampoo sets, eyelash extensions. Stop in or call 605-883-HAIR to get an appointment with Lori. Again, 605-883-HAIR to get an appointment with Kylie. You can call or text her at 605-553-1628. Now, the Mirror does accept walk-ins. They're at 35 4th Street Southeast, downtown Huron. That's Lori and Kylie at the Mirror Family Hair Care. And the Mirror brings us our scoreboard updates. Here in Miller, the Rustlers lead Stanley County's girls at the half, 18-14. Trying to get some other scores from around the area. I know Faulkton and Wessington Springs are playing tonight in girls basketball, and also Iroquois Lake Preston is taking on Oldham Ramona Rutland. So far, though, those teams are scores have not been passed along, or maybe they got underway a little bit late. And Tiger girls are off as well, and of course a lot of the boys' scores not going to start rolling in till a little bit later, as a lot of those are the back end of a doubleheader, so they won't start till closer to 8 p.m. But as soon as we get any scores, of course, we will pass them along, and that is courtesy of the Mirror Family Hair Care in downtown Huron. Scoreboard here in Miller reads Rustlers 18, Buffs 14. Take a 2-minute timeout, come back with individual scores, and we'll be about ready for a second half of play. 2-minute break on 1210 KOKK.
With nearly 130 stores in 12 states, Slumberland has the buying power to bring you the best values from the nation's top furniture brands. Slumberland is America's #1 dealer for Lazy Boy furniture. Slumberland is also the Midwest's largest retailer for Sealy, Simmons, Stearns & Foster, and Tempur-Pedic mattresses. Slumberland of Huron is completely locally owned and operated. Our staff, including sales and delivery, is made up entirely of your neighbors in Huron. So for the best brands at the best prices, along with truly local service, turn to Slumberland Furniture of Huron.
It seems like nothing's built to last these days. Well, here's one that's built to last a long time. Portable creep feeders from Vern's Manufacturing in Wessington. These creep feeders are built with convenience and durability in mind. Feed flow is easily adjustable with an agitation bar to prevent bridging and snug-fitting lids. Portable creep feeders from Vern's Manufacturing are made locally in Wessington, South Dakota. Put a portable creep feeder from Vern's Manufacturing of Wessington into your farming operation.
Hi, I am Tyson Lean. As a college wrestler, I push my body to the limit every day. But after a few injuries, I started to feel like I wasn't performing at my best. That's when I turned to Carr Chiropractic and their team of experts. Through a combination of adjustments, rehab, and natural supplements, I was able to recover faster, reduce my pain, and improve my overall performance on the mat. Whether you're an athlete or just looking to improve your health, I highly recommend giving Carr Chiropractic a try.
I scream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream. Dairy Queen's ice cream, of course. Get your favorite cool treats at Dairy Queen of Huron. Get a chocolate dipped cone, a dilly bar, hot fudge sundae, or their famous DQ blizzards. And for parties, anniversaries, or any occasion, order a DQ cake or a DQ blizzard cake. Dairy Queen of Huron is open every day of the week. Drive up, carry out, or dine in. Dairy Queen of Huron. Hot eats and cool treats.
Your headquarters for sports is Dakota Sports on KOKK.
Back to Miller here, halftime of a girls matchup between Stanley County and Miller. Take a look first at the visiting Buffs numbers. Brecken Huber has 2 off the bench, both of the Stanley County bench points, 2 for 2 from the free throw line. is Brecken Hubner. 3 of the 5 starters have scored for Stanley County. Maddie Duffy with a single 3. Cameron Norman hit a 3 and a 2 in that opening quarter run. She's got 5. Caden's Hand with 4. She is 2 of 2 from the free throw line. Stanley County 7 in each of the first 2 quarters. Also 2 of 2 from the line in each of the first 2 quarters. 14 points at the break. 4 of 4 from the free throw line is Stanley County. For Miller, just the 5 starters in the scoring column, but all 5 did score. 3 apiece for Aaliyah Schlechter and Morgan Kolda. Kolda hit a 3. Schlechter went 3 of 4 from the line. And 4 apiece for Paige Wordle, Kate Lichty, and Grayson Wordle. Grayson is 0 for 2 from the line. The Rustlers as a team, 10 in the first, 8 in the second, 18 in the half. And they go 3 of 6 from the stripe in the first couple of quarters. Well, an early run by Stanley County, a big run by Miller, and then a late run by Stanley County to close the quarter, and we got ourselves a ball game. 18-14 Rustlers. Second half when we come back in 30 seconds. A 30-second timeout on 12:10 KOKK.
Do you know what your cattle are eating? Are they growing like you expect? At Dakota Land Feeds, their experienced feed consultants can help you be sure your cattle are getting everything they need to perform and what will help you increase your bottom line. Let Dakota Land Feeds help formulate the right ration to fit the needs of your cattle, whether you have growing calves, feedlot cattle, yearlings, or beef cows. Dakota Land Feeds has feed consultants across the territory to help serve you. See your local Dakota Land Feeds dealer today.
Dakota Sports is committed to excellence in sports broadcasting.
Welcome back to Miller. Matt Watson tonight on 1210 KOKK, live on the web at HuronRadio.com. We got the app, got the video thing going now. Couple of different ways to check out Dakota Sports. Fresh 8 is on the board. Third quarter set to get underway here. Miller 18, Stanley County 14, and the Buffs will have it to start the third quarter. They inbound into Caden's Hand, and Hand attacking, going right at the rack. Shut down by Schlechter. Pass back outside in the corner now for Duffy. As the Buffs set up early here, trailing now 18-14. Again, they led 7-2. Then they trailed 18-7, and now back to within 4. Here's a miss by the Buffs, rebounded by Schlechter. Nope, that's Palmer. Nope, make it Wordle. Wordle across the timeline, up top for Lichty, left wing to Grayson Wordle, to a cutting Paige Wordle, and Wordle's turnaround in the lane is up and in. Paige with a half dozen to lead all scorers in this one. Miller's lead back to 6 at 20-14. Stanley County quickly to the offensive end, and boy, that might be a point of emphasis after they had a heck of a time with that full court defense. They are getting the ball up the floor quickly. Here's another turnover, ball knocked away from McGee, and here come the Rustlers. Inside, they'll go to Wordle. No Schlechter, and no, it was Paige Wordle. Wordle stepped through and scooped it up and in. So Wordle with 8 now, and the Rustler lead is 8, 22-14. 6:45 left third quarter. Looks like the Rustlers going to start a little run here in the third, as again, this has been a game of runs. Here's a 3, left wing, and that one is good for Maddie Duffy. Duffy's second 3 will cut it to a 5-point game, 22-17. Here's Kolda with the answer, no good. Offensive board almost grabbed by Grayson Wordle, knocked away by Hand, and whose ball is it? It will be Stanley County. Originally they said Miller ball, but changed it back to the Buffaloes, so Stanley County ready to inbound with 6:23 left in the third. Rustlers up 22-17. Hand quickly breaking the press, attacking all the way to the rack. Kolda came in and stole it away. Morgan Kolda to the other end. Looking inside, stolen right back by Duffy. Maddie Duffy, a long lead pass to Hand. Hand trying to finish, got it. Caden's Hand with a half dozen. Miller's lead is 3, 22-19. Grayson Wordle across the timeline for Miller. Cross court for Paige. Left corner now to Kolda. Kolda will dribble out of the corner. Back to Wordle. Right wing to Lichty. Lichty a couple of dribbles. Looking for Kolda. Top of the key. Grayson to Paige in the left corner. Trying to set up Schlechter in the post. Hand doing a pretty good job in there. Drive by Kolda. Leaves it outside. A 3 from the corner is no good. Offensive rebound by Lichty, and the putback is in. A half dozen for Lichty. 5-point Miller lead. Hand again breaking the press. This time she'll set her for a 10-foot jumper. It will not go. Offensive rebound, though. Well, she had a hand on it. Did Briggs. Briggs got pushed down, they say, and a foul's going to go on Miller.
Fouls on number 10, Grayson Wordle.
Fouls on Grayson Wordle.
Second personal, first team.
Her second will be the first of the half. 5:15 left in the third. 24-19. Miller by 5. Stanley County inbounding on their end. On the right wing, it's Briggs. Now Hand at the free throw line. Hand drives, kicks it back out. A 3 on the wing by McGee is no good, and a long rebound down to Paige Wordle. Wordle across the timeline for Kolda. Kolda just left to the top of the key. And an offensive foul, an illegal screen called on Schlechter. So Schlechter with 2, Kolda with 2, Grayson Wordle has 2. Brecken Hubner going to check back in for Stanley County. Hubner the only bench scoring for either squad in this game. Here is Hubner. The inbounds, gives it back to Duffy across midcourt. Hits a cutting Briggs, who hits a cutting Hand, who hits the shot. Cadence Hand with 8. She'll match Paige Wordle for team or game high. 24-21. Miller's lead is 3. 4.5 to play. Quarter number 3. Cole to the baseline drive. Shot came up short. She ended up on her can and still caught the rebound. And now a whistle, and I think we'll have a foul on Stanley County. It'll be Maddie Duffy.
Second personal.
Be her second. First on the Buffs here in the half. 4:32 left in the third. Miller still a 24-21 lead. They'll bring it into Morgan Kolda in the right corner. Kolda up top. A long 3 by Grayson Wordle. Rims out. Rebound Stanley County. Rebound grabbed by McGee. Her pass up court was swatted right back out of bounds. So Buffs will have to do it again. They'll bring it into Duffy. A lob to Hand near the timeline, and they'll foul on Lichty. And Kate's second, so now 4 of the 5 Miller starters have 2 personal fouls.
That was number 14.
Be the third on the team here in quarter number 3, and with 4:21 to play in the third, the lead will stay at 3 for Miller, 24-21. This time Stanley County will bring it in. Inbounds to Hand, standing on the timeline. Hand going to dribble down to the low block. Back up top, Duffy for 3. No good. Rebounded by Lichty. Lichty to Grayson Wordle. Wordle across the timeline. Crosses over, working off the Schlechter screen. Leaves it for Paige in the corner. Now Lichty up top, right corner for Grayson Wordle. Off the screen from Schlechter. Steps back for 3. No good. Duffy the rebound. Duffy a lob ahead to Briggs. Briggs double teamed underneath, and a whistle on Miller. Must be on Kolda, as she is looking quite disappointed. Oh, it won't be on her.
That was number 10, Grayson Wordle.
Be on Grayson Wordle. That'll be her third, so they'll have to get her out of there. They'll bring Jolie Palmer back in. And it looks like we'll get a timeout with 3:50 to play third quarter. Miller 24, Stanley County 21. We'll take a timeout of a minute, 60 seconds on KOKK.
Stretch's Well Service Incorporated would like to wish the Hitchcock-Tulare Patriots the best of luck in today's game. Stretch's Well Service does jobs all over South Dakota, including installation of artesian, shallow, and geothermal wells, and pump repair, installation, and irrigation work. Stretch's Well Service is your TNL irrigation dealer. Get a hold of Stretch or Jeremy and see what they can do for you. Stretch's Well Service of Hitchcock says, "Go Patriots!"
Cheddar Feedlot of Hitchcock is now selling bred heifers, Black Angus, Red Angus, Fancy F1 Baldy, A1 to Black, and A1 to Charlet. All cattle are ultrasounded for 21-day cycles. Call Tony for viewing at 605-350-0401. Cheddar Feedlot now selling bred heifers. Call them today. Again, call Tony, 605-350-0401. Go Patriots!
You're tuned to Dakota Sports.
Welcome back to Miller. Stanley County. Duffy going to pop a 3 off the inbounds, and it's good. We're tied at 24. Maddie Duffy, 3 threes in the game. 2 of them here in the third quarter. A 10-6 run by Stanley County to start the third. We got a whole new ball game, tied at 24. Stanley County led by 5 early. Miller led by 11 in the second. Miller a 16-0 run at one point, a 7-0 run to close the first half by Stanley County. Here's a Colda 3, no good, rebounded by Hand. And Stanley County has a chance to regain the lead. They get it inside. Here's a runner on the way, no good for McGee, rebounded by Palmer. Palmer across the timeline, leaves it for Colda, left wing Schlechter. Schlechter, the drive, lost it. Lichty's going to collect it, right back to Schlechter. Off her hands, picked up by Briggs, and Stanley County will have it again. Inside of 3 minutes left in the third, tied at 24. Here's Hand down in the corner. Another Duffy 3, and another Duffy 3 is good. 12 on the night for Maddie Duffy. 4 threes. Has her Stanley County Buffs back up 27-24. 2.5 left here in the third. Around the horn, Miller goes. Schlechter to Cold on the right side. Now Lichty, Paige Wordle to Grayson in the corner. Here's a pass over to, oh, excuse me, that was Schlechter. Now a pass to Palmer, knocked away, and a whistle will go on Stanley County. Foul's on Caden's Hand. Be her second on the team here in the quarter. 2:17 left in quarter number 3. Buffalo's back on top, 27-24. Miller inbounding on their end. And they'll bring it into a quick shot by Schlechter. No good. Rebound off a foot, and a couple of players on the deck. We got a jump ball, and Miller's going to hold on to it. So the Rustlers will bring it in again, this time with 2:12 to play in the third. Stanley County still a 3-point lead. Bring it into Morgan Colda. Colda from the corner. Schlechter up top to Palmer, back to Schlechter. Now Palmer in the right corner, all the way across court to Lichty. Paige Wordle the drive, splits a double team, and it comes off the front of the iron, no good. Duffy the rebound. Duffy a pass ahead to McGee. McGee low block, back out to Duffy. Duffy the baseline drive, kicks it across to Briggs. Briggs pass up top, Hand mishandled it, almost lost it, finds it shy of the timeline. Hand over to Briggs. Now Duffy shoots it to Hand at the free throw line. Cadence hassled by Wordle, breaks past her, can't get the basket, but does get a foul. And I don't know if we're having free throws or not. I don't think so. Foul's on Paige Wordle. That's her first. 5th on the team, and we'll go to the free throw line here on the new bonus rule. Cadence Hand with 8 points tonight. She is 2 of 2 from the line. Stanley County's 4 of 4 from the stripe tonight. First by Hand is up and good, and Hand here threatening to be the second Buffalo in double figures. Rustlers have more kids scoring, but have yet to have a double-digit score. Here's the second by Hand. That one is good. They'll stay perfect. That's 6 out of 6. Hand with 10 points, and it's a 5-point Stanley County lead, 29-24. Palmer right wing. Lichty around the horn. Palmer back to Colda. Colda in the left corner. Palmer to Paige Wordle. Wordle to Schlechter. Free throw line jumper, no good. Rebounded by Hand. Hand splits a double team and quickly moves it up court across the timeline. Cadence Hand almost lost it again. This time she'll have to give it up to Maddie Duffy. Back to Hand. Hand pops for 3. Came up short. Rebound knocked out of the hands of Runge and picked up by Colda. Colda going coast to coast. Can't get the basket, but will go to the free throw line. Heads up move there. Colda saw that she had Hubner off balance there. Went right into her and threw up a prayer.
Third personal, 13.
So free throws here for Morgan Colda. Colda will put up 2. This one is up and in as Morgan Colda a 3 in the first half. And now that free throw puts her at 4. 49 seconds left here in the third. 29-25. Buffs by 4. Colda with another free throw here for Miller. Second is airborne. It rattles. It will not go. Rebound almost knocked out, but a nice save there by Hubner. And then she had it knocked away, and another whistle. I think will just be off Miller. It'll be Stanley County ball, if I'm not mistaken. That will be the case. So the Buffs will inbound, 29-25. They lead by 4. 45 seconds left in the third. Hand across the timeline. Hassled out there by Wordle, no Schlechter. There's a pass tipped up, nearly stolen away. Nice save there by Cameron Norman. Ball knocked away, and now here's the steal. Go the other way with Schlechter. Schlechter stops, got her defender to fly by. Couldn't hit the shot, but Palmer there for the offensive board. Paige Wordle on the right wing, looking inside, and Hand stole another one. Just got out and stepped right in front of the Rustler player. By the way, Miller checked in Caitlin Anderberg for the first time tonight, and now I think we're going to have a timeout. 10.3 seconds to play in the third. 29-25 Buffaloes. We'll take a 30-second break. Back in 30 seconds on KOKK.
Are you ready for a new era in orthopedic care? HRMC introduces Dr. Kevin Hofer, a proud Huron native, bringing revolutionary orthopedic care to our community. Dr. Hofer offers expertise in robotic-assisted surgery for less pain and a faster recovery. Superior orthopedic care is available locally. Join us in welcoming Dr. Hofer and embracing the future of orthopedics. HRMC, the right care is right here.
Dakota Sports is committed to excellence in sports broadcasting.
Welcome back to Miller. 10 seconds left here in the third. 29-25. Buffs lead by 4. Miller will inbound on the offensive end. One final look here in the third quarter, and we'll see how this plays out. Inbounds to Colda. Colda just right at the top of the key. Lob inside is tipped, but Schlechter comes away with it. Can't hit the shot. Rebounded by Hand. Hand gonna heave one from midcourt, no good, and that's it for 3 after 3. Here come the Buffaloes. Stanley County 29, Miller 25. We're back in a minute with the fourth quarter. 60 seconds on KOKK.
Want a brand new vehicle? Need a low monthly payment? At Olympic Chevrolet Buick GMC in Huron, it's the least we can do. Leased vehicles mean reduced maintenance costs and tax benefits. Save on a new Buick Encore GX. Lease now only $399 a month. Or choose a 2024 Chevy Trax. Lease for only $299 a month. Drive home a new GMC 1500 Crew Cab. Lease for $642 a month. It's the least we can do at the new Olympic Chevrolet Buick GMC in Huron. New name, same great service.
When is the right home truly the right home? This is Reg Kleinsasser with the Real Estate Connection. First, can you afford it? Beyond the purchase price, you need to consider utility costs, maintenance costs, and property taxes. All of these factors add to the actual cost of a new home. Does the home meet your needs? Buying a large house when your kids are heading off to college in a few years, or paying for a view of the lake when you are hardly home, probably doesn't make sense. At the Real Estate Connection, we are dedicated to helping you find a home that meets your needs without breaking your budget. We're ready to help you find the right home today. Give us a call, 352-1300, or visit our website, realestatehuron.com.
You're tuned to Dakota Sports on KOKK.
Welcome back to Miller. Fresh 8 is on the board as we are set for the fourth quarter here between Stanley County and Miller. And boy, this girls' game has been a back and forth affair. 7-2 early on in favor of Stanley County. Miller went on a 16-0 run to lead 8-7. 7-0 run at the end of the half made it 18-14. Stanley County wins the third quarter 15-7, and now the Buffs lead by 4. 29-25. Buffs trying to inbound, nearly stole by Miller. I think she stepped out of bounds after she grabbed it away. And that is the case. So Stanley County will inbound again. Miller's full court defense here has definitely created some problems. Did definitely in the first half. And here's a steal on the inbounds, and knocked to the ground is Schlechter, and she had it knocked away, and it'll get picked up here by Cameron Norman. So Stanley County will end up with it. Here's a 3 by Briggs. That one's off the mark. Rebounded by Grayson Wordle. Grayson ahead to Page. Page on the right wing. Up top, Schlechter looks at three, won't fire. Kolda will, and it's good. Morgan Kolda from long range. 7 in the game for Kolda. It's a 1-point game, 29-28 Stanley County. Maddie Duffy the other way. Stops on the baseline. Got to give it up now. Pretty close to a 5-second outside. They get it to Hand. Hand on the left wing. Guarded by Schlechter. Drives to the free throw line. Hands it back to Duffy. Duffy backs away. Top of the key. Drives all the way to the basket. Lost it on the way up. Ball's out of bounds off Miller. Stanley County bringing McGee back on. McGee to replace Norman. 7 minutes left. 29-28. Stanley County a 1-point lead. Buffs looking for their first win in their second game. Rustlers' first game of the season. Inbounds to Hand. Quick three. Top of the key. Good. Nope, they call it a 2. Hand to 2. She's got a dozen. And it's 31-28. Stanley County by 3. Schlechter the baseline drive. Foul on Hand. So that'll be 3 on Caden's Hand. Kason McGee has 3. On the other side, Grayson Wordle has 3. That's really it for foul trouble. Quick run for Caitlin Anderberg. She will check out. Inbounds for Kolda. Back underway. Rustlers down 3. 6:40 to play. Drive by Wordle. Up top, Schlechter for 3. No good. Rebound to Hand at the top of the key. Hand over to McGee. McGee right corner. Back to Duffy for 3. And that one is good. Maddie Duffy. 5 threes for all 15 of her points. 4 of those coming in the second half. Schlechter top of the key. Kolda left wing. She'll fire for 3. No good. Long rebound out. Kolda knocked it away from Duffy, but they're going to get Kolda for the foul. Morgan's third. 6:16 left in the ball game. Stanley County's lead is back to 6, 34-28. In large part to Caden's Hand and Maddie Duffy. Well, not only because they have all 14 or all 20 second half points, but here is drive to the basket. The shot was no good for Hubner, but she was able to follow it in. So Hubner's got 4, and the lead is 8 for Stanley County. 36-28 Buffs. 6 minutes to play. Ball knocked away. Duffy almost had a steal, but Kolda took it back. Here's Wordle for 3. No good. Rebound Schlechter. Put back high off the glass. Won't go. This time the rebound by Hubner. Hubner to Duffy. Ahead to Hand. And now Stanley County a chance at their biggest lead. Lay in by Hand. Won't go. Rebound Schlechter. Schlechter a pass ahead. Goes off Kolda's hands and out of bounds. Was there a foul? There was not. The officials say Stanley County ball and another chance for the Buffs to make it a double-digit lead. Here comes Palmer back in. She'll check out Wordle. And it looks like Page is going to head for the locker room. Inbounds for Briggs. Briggs on the left wing, back to Duffy. Duffy trapped in the corner. Nice little give inside, but a shot missed by McGee and a rebound by the Rustlers. Lichty the board. Wordle ahead to Kolda. Kolda on the left wing. Thinking about a deep 3. Fires. No good. Long rebound down to Wordle, and Grayson will come away with it. They'll go right back into Schlechter. Right back out to Wordle for 3. No good. Rebound Kolda, and they'll get another look. Wordle, left corner, Lichty for a long 2. And that, they called it a 3, and it's good. Kate Lichty with 9. 36-31, Buffs by 5, 4:45 to play. Duffy looking at a deep 3, won't fire. Back out to Hand. Hand running the weave, drives to the free throw line. Jumper is up and in. Caden's Hand with 10.5, 14 in the game. 7-point Buffalo lead, 4:25 to play. Palmer top of the key, left wing to Lichty. Lichty finds Wordle. Wordle finds a cutting Schlechter, who can't finish, but a foul on Hand. And for Caden's Hand, that's going to be her 4th. We'll have to keep an eye on her, as Hand is 1 from fouling out. And in fact, I think they'll replace her in just a moment. Free throws here for Schlechter. First free throw is up and good. And Aaliyah 4 out of 5 from the line. She's got 4 points tonight. Hand will check out of the matchup. They'll bring Rachel Runge back on. Another free throw here for Schlechter. 6-point Stanley County lead, 4:20 to play. Second free throw is good. Schlechter all 5 of her points from the line. 5-point Stanley County lead, 38-33. Here's McGee across the timeline for the Buffs. Ball knocked away and out of bounds by Palmer. And the Buffs will set to inbound. Stanley County wanted a foul there, but the officials disagree. Off Palmer and out of bounds, they say. McGee to bring it in. Brings it in the corner for Duffy. Here's Duffy the drive. Shut down, backs away. Pass up top, knocked away. Here's a steal by Miller. It'll be Palmer and a pass ahead and a nice scoop by Grayson Wordle and the foul. Big play there for these Miller girls, and one opportunity for the Rustlers. Fouls on Rachel Runge, her second. 38-35, Buffaloes by 3, 4 minutes to play. And Grayson Wordle a chance at the old-fashioned 3, cut it to a 2-point game. Free throw is up and no good. Rebound Stanley County. They'll get into the hands of Duffy. Maddie across midcourt. Duffy, top of the key, guarded out there by Grayson Wordle, and boy, Wordle is all over her. Not letting Duffy get a chance, and here's another Palmer steal. Palmer's pass is tipped, nearly stolen. Wordle got a hand on it. Kolda can't save it, and it's out of bounds off Miller. Tough play there for the Rustlers, as looked like maybe a breakaway basket, and kind of turns into a turnover. 38-35, Buffs by 3, 3.5 to play here in Miller. Remember, we got a boys game coming up next. Both games have a doubleheader tonight on KOKK. And here is a Huebner travel that they got away with, and Stanley County's coach saw it, so they're going to take a timeout and talk it over. 3:27 to play in the game, 38-35 Buffaloes. We'll get a 30-second timeout. Back in 30 on KOKK.
Stop into Shooter's Saloon in Wolsey today for some good food, good drinks, and great time. Shooter's has new hours. They're open Monday through Friday, 3 to close, with the kitchen open 4 to 10. Shooter's is now open Saturdays, noon to close, with a lunch special and appetizers available noon to 4. Be sure to follow their Facebook page to find the weekly special and any drink specials they may be having. You can still get all their normal menu items like their delicious ribeye dinner, and of course Shooter's famous homemade pizzas 4 to 10 p.m. Monday through Saturday. Make your next stop at Shooter's Saloon in Wolsey.
You're tuned to Dakota Sports.
3 minutes and 27 seconds left in this girls basketball matchup. Buffaloes 38, Rustlers 35. Both teams have led by pretty decent margins throughout the game. And Lichty a steal on the inbounds. Palmer shoots it inside to Wordle for the layup. Grayson Wordle with back-to-back layups, 8 points on the night, and a foul on the inbounds. Kolda is upset, so I assume it's probably on her. It is Morgan Kolda, so that'll be her fourth. Lob it in the backcourt for Huebner, and boy, Huebner almost turned it over. Rustlers getting in on the full court press, and they did get the turnover. Schlechter for another Grayson Wordle layup. Miller back on top, 39-38, back-to-back steals and layups for Grayson Wordle. Didn't get the steal in all situations, but got all 3 of the layups. Top of the key, here's Runge. Runge the drive, ball knocked away. Kolda another steal for Miller. Kolda going all the way, almost lost it. Ends up on the deck and kicks it outside to Lichty to save possession. The ball just got a little too far ahead of her. Here is Kolda, left corner. Calling for the ball, wants a look at 3. Nope, back up top, Wordle inside to Schlechter. Schlecter's pass tip, nearly stolen by Runge, and now a jump ball will go to Stanley County. 2:29 left, 39-38. Miller back on top. Hand is back on. Norman is back on. Going to replace Runge and Huebner, and Lichty's going to get a break as well, as Paige Wordle is back on. Nice to see her back in, as they brought her back to the locker room earlier. There's a ball intended for hand, picked off by Schlechter. Schlechter over to Wordle. This time it's Paige, same result. as Paige Wordle now has 10 points, and the Rustlers a 3-point lead, 41-38. Hand inbounds to the other end, all the way to the basket, missed it, rebounded by Wordle. So now Miller's turn at a run with 2 minutes to play. They lead 41-38. Quick 8-0 run by the Rustlers. Here's Wordle from the corner, minute 50 to play. Kolda nearly lost it out of bounds. And boy, you could tell the look on her face was, whew, that would have been laps at practice tomorrow. Here's a foul on Stanley County on the baseline.
Number 12.
This will go on Kaysen McGee, and that'll be her fourth. Minute 44 to play in the girls matchup, 41-38. Rustlers lead by 3. Inbounds knocked away. Kolda able to collect it. Morgan on the right wing. Well, Kolda's hit some threes tonight, but the show has been Maddie Duffy. 5 threes tonight. All 15 of her points. Kolda, roughed wing, 3 ball, won't go. Long rebound, though. Offensive board by Wordle. What a huge board there. Grayson Wordle across the baseline. It was Page on the rebound. Palmer to Kolda. Kolda will back it away. 23 on the shot clock. A minute 11 to play. Rustlers lead 41-38. They've been up. They've been down. Been tied a few times. Kolda down to 10 on the shot clock. Kicks it over to Palmer. Palmer on the wing for Schlechter. Schlechter going to drive, and a whistle will wipe off the basket. The basket somehow went, but they will not count it, as it'll be a foul, another foul on McGee. And I think, is that Hand or McGee? Either way, whoever it is fouled out. But I thought the official indicated it was number 12, but now they're saying it was number 22. So Hand is fouled out of this game, yet she's still on the floor. I guess we got to shoot a free throw first, maybe? First free throw is no good, and Hand has fouled out of this game. So 14 on the night for Hand, 4 out of 4 from the free throw line. Big part of that third quarter push that gave Stanley County the lead, but stepping out now with 52 seconds to play. Here's another free throw for Schlechter. That's good. She splits a pair. All 6 of her points from the free throw line tonight. Aaliyah 6 of 8, and Rustlers a 2-possession lead with 52 seconds to play. They lead 42-38. Stanley County with the ball when we come back in 30 seconds. We'll take a 30-second timeout on Dakota Sports 1210 KOKK.
Wilbur Ellis is a leading provider of innovative solutions in plant protection, plant nutrition, and field technology. They offer premier products and one-on-one relationships with local field experts to help their customers grow. Wilbur Ellis is committed to bringing you and your operation new and innovative ideas. Contact your local Wilbur Ellis specialist today to find out how to maximize your return on investment. Wilbur Ellis wishes all area high school athletes the best of luck this season.
You're tuned to Dakota Sports.
Welcome back to Miller. Still no score to pass along with Faulkton, Wessington Springs. Iroquois Lake Preston, Oldham, Ramona Rutland. It looks like tied at 2 as that game is just underway in girls basketball, and really no other scores of interest for the area. Got some boys games coming up later. We got a boys game coming up later here. The Miller Rustlers will take on Stanley County, and the season opener for both boys basketball squads. We'll have that here live on KOKK, but we got to wrap this one up first. 52 seconds to play. Rustlers 42, Buffaloes 38. Stanley County inbounding. Got to go the length of the floor. I've had trouble with the full court defense today for Miller, and well, they're stumbling a little bit here in the backcourt, but now across the timeline is McGee. And then she stops her dribble. Got to give it off. Tight Miller defense, and here's a steal. Ball stolen. We go to the other end, and Palmer Wordle with the layup. And boy, Paige and Grayson Wordle could not have come up bigger in the fourth quarter of this basketball game. Grayson with 6, Paige with 4. All of them contributed in this fourth quarter. What a comeback here. for the Miller Rustlers. Not quite over yet. 24 seconds to play. Rustlers by 6. Buffs will have the ball. We'll take another 30-second break. Back in 30 seconds on KOKK.
Action news on the scene. Once again, a craft of some sort has crash landed. I can see movement coming from the craft. Is it the sun? It is. It's confirmed and emerging now exactly what we thought. It is the sun. Ty Clark has just emerged from the craft. He's the son of Kent Clark. And yes, they're teaming up like Superman and Boy Wonder. Father and son finally together. Kent Clark Insurance Wessington, equal opportunity provider, 458-2281. For your crop insurance needs.
Dakota Sports is committed to excellence in sports broadcasting.
Welcome back to Miller. 24.6 remaining in this girls basketball matchup. The Rustlers in the midst of a run, 12-0 right now. They lead 44-38. They were down 38-32, and in large part because of plays like this. Grayson Wordle trying to steal the inbound. Ties up Runge for the jump ball, or Briggs rather, for the jump ball. And Stanley County is going to hold on to it, but I think the Rustlers are going to pick up a victory here tonight. And what a victory it was. They were down early, up big. And Stanley County stormed back to take a couple of possession lead. And Rustlers, though, strong down the stretch and going to close out a victory as here's another jump ball. Miller will get it, and that should just about do it. We'll see if Stanley County wants to play the foul game. They do have 5, so any foul will trigger free throws, and it looks like that's what they're going to do as the foul is called on Brecken Hubner. That'll be her first, but I don't know. I don't think you got enough time left to make anything happen here. I think the Rustlers are going to pick up a win in their season opener, and unfortunately for Stanley County, they'll start off with a couple of tough losses, but like I said, not over yet, but Fat Lady's warming up. The first free throw off the mark for Grayson Wordle. Wordle is 0 for 4 from the line tonight. Got 10 points, though. Is big stretch in this fourth quarter as they had 2 steals, and both time got it to Grayson Wordle for the layup. And here's another offensive board. It's Paige Wordle, and Paige going to put one in at the buzzer for good measure. Your final score is the Miller Rustler girls win 46-38. We're back in 3 minutes with a Gary Zell Auto Glass postgame show number 1. Remember, we got 2 games tonight, a boys game yet to come. Miller girls win 46-38. Gary Zell Auto Glass postgame show in 3 minutes. 3 minutes on KOKK.
Brushing up, bettering yourself, or pursuing a degree? Huron Community Campus offers in-person classes at just $40 per credit hour plus fees. HCC offers courses through Northern State University, offering quality education at an exceptional value. To learn more, call Huron Community Campus at 605-353-8518. That's 605-353-8518.
With nearly 130 stores in 12 states, Slumberland has the buying power to bring you the best values from the nation's top furniture brands. Slumberland is America's #1 dealer for Lazy Boy furniture. Slumberland is also the Midwest's largest retailer for Sealy, Simmons, Stearns & Foster, and Tempur-Pedic mattresses. Slumberland of Huron is completely locally owned and operated. Our staff, including sales and delivery, is made up entirely of your neighbors in Huron. So for the best brands at the best prices, along with truly local service, turn to Slumberland Furniture of Huron.
Hi, I am Tyson Lean. As a college wrestler, I push my body to the limit every day. But after a few injuries, I started to feel like I wasn't performing at my best. That's when I turned to Carr Chiropractic and their team of experts. Through a combination of adjustments, rehab, and natural supplements, I was able to recover faster, reduce my pain, and improve my overall performance on the mat. Whether you're an athlete or just looking to improve your health, I highly recommend giving Carr Chiropractic a try.
Stretch's Well Service Incorporated would like to wish the Hitchcock Tulare Patriots the best of luck in today's game. Stretch's Well Service does jobs all over South Dakota, including installation of artesian, shallow, and geothermal wells, and pump repair, installation, and irrigation work. Stretch's Well Service is your TNL irrigation dealer. Get a hold of Stretch or Jeremy and see what they can do for you. Stretch's Well Service of Hitchcock says, "Go Patriots!"
Cheddar Feedlot of Hitchcock is now selling bred heifers, Black Angus, Red Angus, Fancy F1 Baldy, A1 to Black, and A1 to Charlet. All cattle are ultrasounded for 21-day cycles. Call Tony for viewing at 605-350-0401. Cheddar Feedlot now selling bred heifers. Call them today. Again, call Tony, 605-350-0401. Go Patriots!
Gary Zell Auto Glass is a proud supporter of area high school sports and sponsor of the post-game show. Gary and Michael Zell offer mobile glass replacement of windshields, door glass, cars and trucks, even tractor cabs on site. Gary Zell Auto Glass does chip repairs and they process all insurance paperwork. Call 352-0836 or toll free 1-888-852-0355. Gary Zell Auto Glass in Huron. It's time for the post-game report on 1210 KOKK. Brought to you by Gary Zell Auto Glass in Huron. Once again, here's Matt Watson.
And welcome back to Miller. Matt Watson on 1210 KOKK. 1 down, 1 to go. Gary Zell Auto Glass bringing us our post-game report as the Miller girls come back for a nice victory over the Stanley County Buffs. The final 46-38. The Miller Rustlers trailed early on in this one. They trailed 7-2, and then they would go on a 16-0 run to make it 18-7, and then a 7-0 run by Stanley County at the half cut it to 18-14. So the Rustlers took a 4-point lead into the third. Stanley County outscored them 15-7 in the third to take a 4-point lead. That lead swelled to 8 in the fourth quarter, but then a series of steals and layups by Grayson Wordle and a 3 by Kate Lichty, and Aaliyah Schlechter chipping in some free throws, and Morgan Kolda hit a 3. All 5 starters chipped in every quarter of this basketball game, and all 5 in the scoring column, almost all 5 in double figures. And if that's going to be indicative of this Rustler team, probably going to have a lot of success this year playing together like that, as everybody coming together and pretty even scoring. We'll take a look at that here in the post-game show as the Miller Rustlers outscore Stanley County 21-9 in the fourth quarter to win it going away 46-38. Individual scores for Stanley County. Bench score, Brecken Hubner had 4. She was 2 of 2 from the line. Cameron Norman out of the starters 3 scored. Cameron Norman had 5. 2 more in double figures. Cadence Hand had 14. Fouled out with about a minute to play. She was 4 out of 4 from the free throw line, and Maddie Duffy would lead them with 15. Maddie hit 5 threes on the night, 3 of them in that big third quarter when Stanley County regained the lead. Also hit 1 to start the fourth, but that would be it for the game as the Rustlers outscore Stanley County in the fourth 21-9 to win the ball game here tonight. So Maddie Duffy leads them with 15. Stanley County scored 7 in the first, 7 in the second, 15 in the third, 9 in the fourth, 38 in the game. They were perfect for them from the line at 6 out of 6. For the Miller Rustlers, again, just the 5 starters in the scoring column. Aaliyah Schlechter had 6. She was 6 of 8 from the line. 7 on the night for Morgan Kolda, a pair of 3s and 1 of 2 from the stripe. Kate Lichty knocked down a 3, went for 9 in the game. 2 more in double figures for Miller, the Wordles. Grayson with 10, Page with 14. Grayson went 0 of 5 from the free throw line. Both hit for 6 in the fourth quarter in a huge fourth quarter stretch as the Miller Rustlers pull away for the 46-38 victory. So the Rustlers will start the season with a win. They go to 1-0. Stanley County will start with a couple of tough losses and will start their year at 0-2. So that'll just about wrap up Gary Zell Auto Glass postgame report number 1. We will take a 30-second timeout to hear from Gary Zell. When we come back, we'll take a look at the scoreboard, and then we will wrap up game number 1 as the Miller girls win by the final of 46-38. We'll hear from Gary Zell, our postgame report sponsor, and we'll get some scoring out of the way here, and we'll get ready for ball game number 2 as the Miller girls win the opening game of the varsity set. So make it a 1-minute break, and we'll come back with our scoreboard. You're listening to Gary Zell Auto Glass postgame show number 1 on 1210. Back in 60 seconds here on KOKK.
It seems like nothing's built to last these days. Well, here's one that's built to last a long time. Portable creep feeders from Burns Manufacturing in Wessington. These creep feeders are built with convenience and durability in mind. Feed flow is easily adjustable with an agitation bar to prevent bridging and snug-fitting lids. Portable creep feeders from Burns Manufacturing are made locally in Wessington, South Dakota. Put a portable creep feeder from Burns Manufacturing of Wessington into your farming operation.
Gary Zell Auto Glass is a proud supporter of area high school sports and sponsor of the post-game show. Gary and Michael Zell offer mobile glass replacement of windshields, door glass, cars and trucks, even tractor cabs on site. Gary Zell Auto Glass does chip repairs, and they process all insurance paperwork. Call 352-0836 or toll free 1-888-852-0355. Gary Zell Auto Glass in Huron.
Your headquarters for sports is Dakota Sports on KOKK.
All right, a quick check of your scoreboard. Your scoreboard brought to you by the Mirror Family Hair Care, downtown Huron. Lori and Kylie at the Mirror offering cuts, colors, waxes, perm styles for the entire family, hair removal, eyelash extensions, a lot of options at the Mirror Family Hair Care. Not a lot of scores to pass along tonight. Faulkton leading Wessington Springs 37-33. About 5 minutes left to play in that girls basketball matchup. And Iroquois Lake Preston leading Oldham Ramona Rutland after a quarter 18-10. Trip Delmont Armor beat Meadow tonight 55-24 in girls hoops. And Flandreau whooped Chester 69-36. Girls basketball scores there brought to you by the Mirror Family Hair Care, downtown Huron. Thanks to the Mirror for that. Thanks to Gary Zell Auto Glass for sponsoring our post-game report number 1. They'll get another one later as we are now ready to flip it over for a boys matchup here on KOKK. So I'll tell you what we'll do. Get a look at these. The records obviously are 0-0 early on in this one. The Miller Rustler boys, Steve Shoemaker, back at the helm for this Rustler boys basketball team. Take a look at their starting lineups. We'll get your officials, and also we'll get a quick look at Coach Joey Fisher and his Stanley County Buffs. The first thing we're going to do is have a word with Steve Shoemaker as we get ready for now a boys matchup in Miller. The Miller girls win 46-38 over the Stanley County Buffaloes. Boys game is next after a 2-minute timeout. Actually, make it a 1-minute timeout. Back after a 1-minute timeout, and we'll talk to Steve Shoemaker, head coach of the Miller boys. We're getting ready for our second of 2. For now, I guess that wraps up our Gary Zell Auto Glass post-game show number 1. We'll talk to Coach Shoemaker in 1 minute on 1210 KOKK.
Stop into Shooter's Saloon in Wolsey today for some good food, good drinks, and great time. Shooter's has new hours. They're open Monday through Friday, 3 to close, with the kitchen open 4 to 10. Shooter's is now open Saturdays, noon to close, with a lunch special and appetizers available noon to 4. Be sure to follow their Facebook page to find the weekly special and any drink specials they may be having. You can still get all their normal menu items like their delicious ribeye dinner, and of course Shooter's famous homemade pizzas 4 to 10 p.m. Monday through Saturday. Make your next stop at Shooter's Saloon in Wolsey.
Wilbur Ellis is a leading provider of innovative solutions in plant protection, plant nutrition, and field technology. They offer premier products and one-on-one relationships with local field experts to help their customers grow. Wilbur Ellis is committed to bringing you and your operation new and innovative ideas. Contact your local Wilbur Ellis specialist today to find out how to maximize your return on investment. Wilbur Ellis wishes all area high school athletes the best of luck this season.
You're tuned to Dakota Sports on KOKK.
back to the pregame show on 1210 KOKK, our second of two pregame shows tonight as we got the girls game in the books, and now we get set for Stanley County at Miller on the boys side. We'll sit down right now with Steve Shoemaker, head coach of the Miller Rustler boys. And Steve, thanks for joining us here. First of all, I guess let's talk about how much this team has changed from last season. How many did you graduate? What pieces did you send down the road?
Well, we graduated 5 seniors. We lost a lot of size. Trevor Whirl and Spencer Pernholz and Dylan Haas both played a lot of basketball for us throughout their high school career. So we've lost a lot of size and experience coming into this year, which just creates opportunities for the younger guys.
Let's talk a little bit about these other guys. Who has sort of emerged early as maybe the vocal leader, or you think is going to be the leader on the floor?
Well, Alex has been starting point guard. This is going into his 4th year as a starter. He's returning all-conference player, so he's one of the guys that we rely on a lot for ball handling and leadership. Isaac Hunter is a sophomore, but he's a returning all-Big Dakota honorable mention. So those are really the two guys that we want to rely on a lot. Derek Brueggemann played a lot last year. We're hoping for good things from him as well.
The style over the years has been a little more of an up-tempo game. Is that going to be a staple still? Are you going to stay with that?
I think so. You know, with Alex and Isaac and Derek, they're good athletes. We want to run when we can, but we also want to be able to pull it out and run a good offense as well and limit turnovers.
Now, obviously, first game of the year, so we can't get too deep into it, but what have you seen in practice that you really like about this team? Is there something you feel that this team can kind of hang its hat on early?
I like our energy. I like our defense. You know, we're very flexible. We don't have much height, but we've got probably 7 guys that can handle the ball and play about any position.
I saw you're going to play 7 or 8, so you have a fairly deep lineup.
Yeah, fairly deep, as long as we're injury-free. I mean, we're going to play those.
Oh, knock on wood, Coach. Do it now. Do it now. Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about Stanley County. What do you know of the Buffs?
You know, I know last year their record wasn't the best, but they've got a lot of good athletes. They've got, I think, pretty much everybody back from last year. I know their JV team, which I've been watching tonight, looked very athletic. They like to run, so I'm expecting it to be a very competitive game tonight.
All right, Coach. Thanks a lot for joining us here. Good luck in the game, and you know we'll be talking to you.
All right, thank you.
Steve Shoemaker, the head coach of the Miller boys. We'll send it back to the studios here, come back with starting lineups, officials, and we'll be ready for tip-off in our second of 2. Stanley County at Miller boys basketball next on KOKK.
Action news on the scene. Once again, a craft of some sort has crash-landed. I can see movement coming from the craft. Is it the sun? It is. It's confirmed and emerging now exactly what we thought. It is the sun. Ty Clark has just emerged from the craft. He's the son of Kent Clark. And yes, they're teaming up like Superman and Boy Wonder. Father and son finally together. Kent Clark Insurance, Wessington. Equal opportunity provider. 458-2281. For your crop insurance needs.
Stretch's Well Service Incorporated would like to wish the Hitchcock-Tulare Patriots the best of luck in today's game. Stretch's Well Service does jobs all over South Dakota, including installation of artesian, shallow, and geothermal wells, and pump repair, installation, and irrigation work. Stretch's Well Service is your TNL irrigation dealer. Get a hold of Stretch or Jeremy and see what they can do for you. Stretch's Well Service of Hitchcock says, "Go Patriots!"
You're tuned to Dakota Sports on KOKK.
And welcome back to Miller, getting set for a boys basketball matchup here between Stanley County and the Miller Rustlers. We'll take a look at your scores so far tonight in a moment. First, let's get a look at this lineup here. First for Joey Fisher and his visiting Stanley County Buffaloes. Off the bench, you'll have Weston Prince, Kelby Olson, Blaze Frost, Eddie Duffy, Cash Richardson, Austin Boxley, Tyson Peterson, Wyatt Mortensen, Noah Baldwin, and Ethan Leafgreen. Starting 5 for Joey Fisher and his Stanley County Buffaloes. Number 2, a 5'7" sophomore, Brendan Bothwell. Number 4, a 6'5" junior, Brock Zeeb. Number 10, a 6'1" junior, Caden Montana. Number 11, a 5'11" sophomore in Paxton Deal. And number 13, a 6'4" sophomore in Q Bourne. Bothwell, Zeeb, Montana, Deal, and Bourne. They'll wear the traveling purple unis with the yellow numbers. Moving over to Coach Steve Shoemaker and his Miller Rustlers. Off the bench, they'll have Gentry Harrow, William Riesel, Joseph Baker, Isaac McKinstry, and Cole Calviny. The Miller Rustlers tonight will start. Number 2, a 6-foot senior Davin Nelson. Number 4, a 6-foot senior Trayton Anson. Number 10, a 6-foot senior Alex Shoemaker. Number 24, a 6'3 sophomore Isaac Hunter. And number 34, a 6-foot sophomore Derek Brueggemann. The boys will go Nelson, Anson, Shoemaker, Hunter, and Brueggemann. They'll wear the white unis with the green numbers as we get set for another high school basketball matchup. Jordan Poole, Ted Hayter, again, your officiating crew. The Law on the Field brought to you by the South Dakota Attorney General's Office, Division of Consumer Protection. Ted Hayter, Jordan Poole, a couple of your officials, your Law on the floor tonight. Scoreboard's brought to you by the Mirror Family Hair Care, downtown Huron. Earlier tonight here, the JV matchups. The boys won by Stanley County, 55-32. The girls' JV matchup won by Miller, 33-14. Emma Pugh had 10 for the Rustler girls' JV. Madison Sainga had 9 for the Miller JV. The Miller varsity wins 46-38 over Stanley County. They had 2 in double figures. The Wordles, Grayson with 10, Page with 14. Kate Lichty, though, right there with 9, and as long as we're mentioning them all, Schlechter had 6, Colda had 7, all 5 starters chipping in, almost all 5 in double figures as the Miller girls win 46-38 on the varsity side. And now we'll get ready for our 4th of 4. We'll have one more score to add to that here in 32 basketball minutes. They're announcing the Miller starters on the floor, and we will be ready for tip-off.
The Rustlers are coached by Steve Shoemaker, the assistant by Darren Hunter and Reno Brueggemann. Managers and statisticians for the Rustlers are Jake Pugh, Charles Riesel.
Closer to tip-off here, getting set for our 2nd of 2, and of course our scoreboard update there brought to you by the Mirror.
Ryan Schuchart and Ted Hayter. We remind you again of the importance of good sportsmanship and the positive.
So a fresh 8 on the board. We are in the center circle, and we are set for tip-off. It will be Isaac Hunter, opposed by Brock Zeeb. The tip is up, and we are underway. Stanley County will have the first look to start this game. On the wing, it's Deal. Paxton inside, straight to the rack, and Caden Montana will score the opening basket. Wasting no time, ball tipped on the inbounds, nearly turned over. Hunter finds the handle. Across the timeline, it's Brueggemann. Brueggemann left corner for Davin Nelson. Back to Brueggemann. Right corner, Hunter for 3, no good. Davin Nelson almost had a hand on the rebound. Paxton Deal took it away. Deal back across midcourt. Now Bothwell right wing looking at 3. Inside, it's Montana again. Off the window, it rattles home. Oh, and that was Q Bourne. Either way, it's a 2, and it's 4-0 Buffs. Shoemaker across the timeline, and a whistle on Montana. Cade Montana's first of the night. 7:18 left in the opening quarter here. Buffs up early 4-0. Inbounds to Shoemaker. Shoemaker on the dribble just across the timeline. Crosses it over and drives. Leaves it out left corner for Davin Nelson. He looks at 3, drives, blocked, and a whistle. And I think that's on Bourne. Bourne thought he had a clean block. The official disagrees. And it'll mean free throws here early on for Davin Nelson.
First personal, second team.
So Bourne whistled for his first, team's second. And Davin Nelson at the line. Nelson's first free throw is good. So Nelson will get the Rustlers on the board. 4-1 Buffaloes. 55 seconds into the boys matchup. Miller girls won the varsity affair earlier. Nelson knocks down both free throws to make it 4-2. Stanley County the inbounds quickly. Down to Zeeb. Zeeb the drive. Almost had it knocked away, and I guess they're going to call a foul on Miller. Trayton Anson, I think. Nope, Davin Nelson. Nelson's first on the team, and Stanley County will inbound just a minute in. Stanley County 4, Miller 2. And the inbounds went off the hand of Nelson and then the back of the calf of Hunter and out of bounds. So the Rustlers did a pretty good job defensively, but just couldn't keep it in bounds here as Stanley County will move up the baseline a little bit, inbound again. Montana thinking about a 3, won't pull the trigger. Here's a 3 by Zeeb. That one is off the mark. Shoemaker had a hand on the rebound, taken away by Bourne. Bourne going to leave it off at a nice drive by Deal, but he can't finish. Shoemaker the board. Alex across the timeline. Going to hand it off out to Hunter. Hunter crossed over and fouled by Paxton, or maybe Bothwell.
That was number 2.
Yep, Brendan Bothwell, his first. Third in the first minute and a half of this game for Stanley County. 6.5 to play opening quarter. 4-2 Buffs. Inbounds to Shoemaker. Shoemaker top of the key. Screen from Brueggemann. Free throw line jumper off the mark. Rebound grabbed by Montana to the other end. Ball knocked away. Shoemaker a steal. Alex back across midcourt. He'll stop for a 3. Top of the key. No good. Offensive rebound Hunter. Let's try it again. That one's in. Isaac Hunter. Nice touch from just inside the free throw line. Looked like a little bit of a floater there. Ties us at 4. Bothwell on the wing. Up top Montana. Montana the drive. Halfway down the paint. The jumper comes up short. Shoemaker another board. Alex back across the timeline. Shoemaker wants to go all the way to the rack and he'll put it in off the window. That'll make it a 6-4 Miller lead as the Rustlers take the lead for the first time in the boys matchup. 5:40 to play opening quarter. Deal top of the key, right wing now for Bothwell. Bothwell on the wing right side to Bourne. Bourne thinks about it, pass inside, Hunter the easy steal. Hunter back across the timeline, whips it inside to Anson who finishes. What a pass by Hunter and a finish by Anson. 8-4 Miller just across the timeline of Stanley County, and they're going to get a timeout. 5:15 to play opening quarter. Rustlers on top, 8-4. We're back in 30 seconds on KOKK.
Cheddar Feedlot of Hitchcock is now selling bred heifers, Black Angus, Red Angus, Fancy F1 Baldy, A1 to Black, and A1 to Charlet. All cattle are ultrasounded for 21-day cycles. Call Tony for viewing at 605-350-0401. Cheddar Feedlot now selling bred heifers. Call them today. Again, call Tony. 605-350-0401. Go Patriots.
Dakota Sports is committed to excellence in sports broadcasting.
Welcome back to Miller. Stanley County off the timeout here, trying to make something happen. Here's a 3 on the wing for Deal. No good. Montana had a hand on the rebound. He almost took it away. It ends up though knocked out of bounds off Stanley County. 8-4 Rustlers. 4 of the 5 starters have already scored for Miller. 5:03 to play quarter number 1. Miller again up 8-4, and Stanley County inbounding on their end. They'll go right inside to Zeeb, and Zeeb will knock it in off the window. So Zeeb with his first 2, 8-6 Miller. Hunter shy of the timeline with Brueggemann, working the backcourt, back to Isaac, and Hunter now across the timeline and a pass to Shoemaker. Shoemaker on the wing left side, drives, backs it away, turnaround jumper, money from just outside the free throw line. Shoemaker puts him up 10-6. At the other end, Bothwell driving all the way to the rack, and he is fouled. One official set out of bounds off Stanley County. Another official, I think, called a foul on Miller. And I think it's just going to be off Stanley County and out of bounds. No foul, and the Rustlers will have it. 4:32 to play in the opening quarter. 10-6, the Rustlers lead. Inbounds intended for Hunter. Knocked away by Bothwell. Oh, Hunter took it back across the timeline for Brueggemann. Pass inside, looking for Anson. Is out of bounds off Stanley County. Zeeb came flying in and knocked it away at the last second. Shoemaker will bring it into Brueggemann. Around the horn, Anson to Brueggemann in the right corner. Here's Shoemaker for 3. No good. Bourne the rebound. Bourne ahead to Deal. Deal right side, drive, stops on the low post. Back outside to Bourne. Bourne trying to back it down. Pass to Zeb. The drive. How about the basket and the foul? for Brock Zeeb.
Basket is good by Brock Zepp. That's number 4, Trayton Anson.
Fouls on Trayton Anson.
First personal on the second team.
His first is the second on the team. Opportunity for Zeeb to go old-fashioned 3, and he does. 10-9, Miller's lead down to 1. Zeeb has 5 to lead Stanley County. Miller to the offensive end, holding on to a 1-point lead. It's Davin Nelson in the corner. Tried to get it inside to Brueggemann. Brueggemann got tied up by Deal. Jump ball will stay with Miller. Midway point of the opening quarter, 10-9 Rustlers. Shoemaker will bring it in. Into the right corner, Brueggemann, top of the key, Hunter. Hunter the drive, halfway down the lane, pops and knocks down the shot. Hunter, nice adjustment there, using the glass. 12-9 Miller. Deal from the corner, swings it around to Bothwell. Bothwell just left to the top of the key. Back to Deal. Deal on the dribble, lobs it inside. Here's Bourne going to work off the window, and he is fouled by Trayton Anson. So that'll be Anson's second. Team's third.
That's number 4, Trayton Anson. Second personal.
And will mean free throws for Q Bourne. 2 points tonight for Bourne. A field goal. They are 1 for 1 from the line of the Buffaloes. Bourne's first free throw here is off the heel and no good. Miller going to bring William Riesel in. Riesel will replace Trayton Anson. Another free throw here for Q Bourne. That one's up and in. Bourne with 3 points, and it's a 2-point game, 12-10 Miller. Full court pressure here from Stanley County. Hunter to Shoemaker. Touch pass across the timeline to Nelson. Davin thought about a 3, pulled it down, leaves it for Shoemaker in the center circle. Rustlers a 2-point lead. 3:10 to play opening quarter. Shoemaker working off the Brueggemann screen. Steps back for 3 and got it. Alex Shoemaker with 7, and that'll give the Miller boys their biggest lead of the night, 15-10. Here's Bothwell just across midcourt for Montana. Montana lobs it in to Bourne. Bourne had it knocked away, a steal by Hunter. Hunter to the other end. Hesitates, now drives off the window, too strong. Rebound tipped up in the air, picked up by Zeeb. And Stanley County will control. Miller leads 15-10. Bourne from the corner looking at 3, kicks it back out. Montana for 3, and that one is good. So Montana with 5 points, back to a 2-point game, 15-13. Pass ahead, tipped into the hands of Shoemaker. He got all by himself, and he missed the layup. Rebound Montana to the other end. Here's Zeeb. Zeeb the drive, fade away, won't go, but a foul, and I think, are we going to the line? Nope, not a shooting foul.
Number 24.
Fouls on Isaac Hunter, that's his first.
First personal, 4th team.
2:14 left here in quarter number 1. 15-13, Rustlers by 2. Buff's going to check in the first reserve of the night. Here's a 3 on the wing, and that one is good for Caden Montana. So back-to-back Montana 3s. And the Buffs lead 16-15. Here's a 3 at the other end. Davin Nelson came up short. Zeeb on the rebound. Stanley County back up 16-15. Deal from the corner. Finds Montana on the wing. Montana the drive. Scoops and lays it up and in. Caden Montana with 10 points, an 8-0 run of his own. And the Rustlers trail 18-15. Here's a lob to Brueggemann across the timeline. Shoemaker. Shoemaker left wing, Miller down 3. Minute 25 left opening quarter. Shoemaker already a 3 in the game. He leads Miller with 7 points. Montana leads Stanley County with 10. Hunter from the corner. Brueggemann a deep 3. No good. Rebound though grabbed by Davin Nelson. Davin had it knocked away. Hunter on the deck. Back outside to Nelson, and they save possession. Nelson trapped in the right corner, back out to Isaac Hunter. Hunter in the center circle, a handoff from Brueggemann to Shoemaker. 55 seconds left in the quarter, 15 on the shot clock. Shoemaker sidesteps, 3-ball, won't go. Wanted a foul, didn't get it. Long rebound to Deal. Deal going to leave it for Montana, who will lay it up and in. Caden Montana with a dozen in the opening quarter. And the Buffs a 5-point lead, 20-15. Ball nearly knocked out of bounds. Davin Nelson able to haul it in. Nelson has it knocked away. Zeeb the steal. Zeeb the other way. He's going all the way to the basket. They will not count the bucket, but I assume he will be going to the free throw line.
Number 10, Alex Shoemaker.
Fouls on Shoemaker. So the basket didn't count. Oh, that's Miller's 5th foul of the quarter. Okay. I was going to say, if the basket didn't count, how are you shooting free throws? But that makes a little more sense. Zeeb good on the first free throw. He's got a half dozen. So Austin Boxley was that first reserve in. Now Blaze Frost is the second. The second free throw is good for Zeeb. So that'll make it a 7-point Buffalo lead, 22-15. 15 seconds left in the opening quarter. Shoemaker working off the Hunter screen. Shoemaker good from 12 feet. He's got 9 in the quarter. And Stanley County's going to have a final shot. It's a deep three off the window. It's no good. And that'll do it for a quarter. High scoring affair early on as the Stanley County Buffaloes a 22-17 lead after one quarter. We're back in a minute. 1 minute on 12:10 KOKK.
Brushing up, bettering yourself, or pursuing a degree? Huron Community Campus offers in-person classes at just $40 per credit hour plus fees. HCC offers courses through Northern State University, offering quality education at an exceptional value. To learn more, call Huron Community Campus at 605-353-8518. That's 605-353-8518.
With nearly 130 stores in 12 states, Slumberland has the buying power to bring you the best values from the nation's top furniture brands. Slumberland is America's #1 dealer for Lazy Boy furniture. Slumberland is also the Midwest's largest retailer for Sealy, Simmons, Stearns & Foster, and Tempur-Pedic mattresses. Slumberland of Huron is completely locally owned and operated. Our staff, including sales and delivery, is made up entirely of your neighbors in Huron. So for the best brands at the best prices, along with truly local service, turn to Slumberland Furniture of Huron.
Your headquarters for sports is Dakota Sports on KOKK.
Well, back to Miller here. Generally, in the season opener, you don't see very much crisp play. You see a lot of turnovers. You don't see a whole lot of points scored. But Miller and Stanley County forgot this is the season opener, and they are lighting up the scoreboard. Here's another three by Caden Montana. So he's got 15 points already in this game. Shoemaker across midcourt and a whistle on Stanley County. Fouls on Brendan Bothwell, his second. Team's, well, fourth of the half, I guess, but that's the first of the quarter. I got to get used to that. Inbounds to Shoemaker in the backcourt, and we're back underway. 30 seconds into quarter number 2, an 8-point Buffalo lead. Brueggemann hands it off to Hunter, and Bothwell just chest bumped him. I'm not sure why, but Bothwell will pick up back-to-back fouls, and that'll be his third. Checking in for the Buffs, number 1, Weston Prince. $7.5 to play in the second, an 8-point Buff lead. Shoemaker just left of the top of the key. Leave it off for Brueggemann. Brueggemann to Hunter. Hunter sees an open lane. Couldn't lay it up. Zeeb blocked it off the backboard. Kicks it over to Montana across the timeline. He has it stolen away by Shoemaker. Shoemaker has Weston Prince dive. Tried to take the ball away from him. And Shoemaker doing a good job. Trying to leave it for Brueggemann. Ball knocked away. And here's a steal for Miller. Or for Stanley County. The other end. Deal to the rack. He can't finish. He wanted a foul that didn't get called. Anson gonna tie up Prince. And I think they called a jump ball after all that. Yeah, it'll be Miller basketball. As it got a little out of hand for just a quick minute there. 6:50 to play in the second. Still an 8-point Buffalo lead. Brueggemann, top of the key for Miller. Gives it to Shoemaker. Shoemaker just left to the top, looking for us. Oh, wow, a deep three for Shoemaker. That one's no good. Rebound grabbed by Montana Boy, and he almost gave it up. Pass across the timeline for Zeeb. Zeeb the drive, trying to finish, can't get it to go. Rebound grabbed by William Riesel. Riesel to Shoemaker. Shoemaker underneath. Hunter drives, can't get the basket, but does get the contact. And Isaac Hunter will head for the free throw line.
Number 13, Q Bourne.
Falls on Q Bourne, his second. That'll be the third on the Buffs here in the second quarter, but that's how they started this game. They had 3 fouls in the first 80 seconds, and then I don't think they committed one the rest of the first quarter. First free throw for Hunter is off the mark. So just the Montana 3 so far here in the second as William Riesel will check out. Rustlers without a point here in the second. Hunter a chance to change that and does. 25-18, a 7-point Stanley County lead. Here's Weston Prince across the timeline. Leave it off for Montana. Back to Prince at the top of the key. Montana right wing, lost Shoemaker, fires for 3, and he got it. Oh, they call that a 2. It's a 2, kids. That's a 2. So 5 in this quarter, 12 in the opening quarter, 17 points in 10 minutes of basketball for Caden Montana. Here's Hunter from in close. No good. Zeeb the rebound. Zeeb ahead to Montana. Montana right corner, back to Zeeb. Zeeb gonna pop for 3. No good. Anson the rebound, had it knocked away, but a whistle will be the 4th foul of the second quarter on Stanley County.
That's number 1,
Weston Prince, his first. And we got a timeout, Shoemaker. 5:38 to play second quarter, 27-18, Buffs by 9. We're back in a minute. 60 seconds on 12:10 KOKK.
It seems like nothing's built to last these days. Well, here's one that's built to last a long time. Portable creep feeders from Burns Manufacturing in Wessington. These creep feeders are built with convenience and durability in mind. Feed flow is easily adjustable with an agitation bar to prevent bridging and snug-fitting lids. Portable creep feeders from Burns Manufacturing are made locally in Wessington, South Dakota. Put a portable creep feeder from Burns Manufacturing of Wessington into your farming operation.
Hi, I am Tyson Lean. As a college wrestler, I push my body to the limit every day. But after a few injuries, I started to feel like I wasn't performing at my best. That's when I turned to Car Chiropractic and their team of experts. Through a combination of adjustments, rehab, and natural supplements, I was able to recover faster, reduce my pain, and improve my overall performance on the mat. Whether you're an athlete or just looking to improve your health, I highly recommend giving Car Chiropractic a try.
You're tuned to Dakota Sports.
Welcome back to Miller here as the Buffs going to steal the inbounds off the timeout, and everything coming up Stanley County here lately. Well, maybe not everything, as Montana can't finish on the layup. Rustlers the rebound, down 9. Davin Nelson for 3, no good. Rebound though, Traden Hansen with a nice offensive board. That'll get him another look. Here's Shoemaker out near the timeline, and he'll reset the offense for the Rustler boys. Down 9, 5 minutes to play in the second. Brueggemann now on the wing, cross court back to Shoemaker. Shoemaker the drive, the finish, pops off the heel and back out. Zeeb the rebound ahead to Montana. They leave Montana in an open lane, and he'll lay it in. Well, Montana, the hot hand, now 19 points in 13 minutes. No, in 11 minutes. 4.5 minutes in the first half here, 29-18, as the scoring has slowed down a little bit here. Hunter going to pop for three, no good. Offensive board, another offensive board by Anson. He'll go right back up, and it's good. So Trayton Anson with the first Miller field goal of the second quarter. Montana has all 7 of the Buff points here in the quarter. They get it inside to Zeeb. He lost his defender, and he'll get an easy 2. 9 for Zeeb in the first half. 31-20, first double-digit lead for Stanley County. 11 points with Shoemaker across the timeline. Midway point of the second, 4 minutes until half. Here's Brueggemann in the right corner. Derek dribbles out of the corner to the free throw line. Back outside, Shoemaker a deep 3, no good. Rebounded by Montana. Montana left wing, leaves it in the corner for Deal. Paxton drives the baseline, back outside to Prince. Weston looks at 3, won't fire, back to Montana. Montana lobs it, Deal for 3, no good. Rebound, Davin Nelson. Nelson to Shoemaker. Shoemaker across midcourt. Rustlers down 11, double digits for the first time tonight. 3:15 left here in the second quarter. These teams combined for 39 points in the first 8 minutes of play. And a dozen here over the next 5, and we'll make it 14 as Shoemaker hits another runner. 11 for Shoemaker. Here's a ball knocked out of bounds off Miller. Anson quite able to haul it back in. Three new faces here for Stanley County. Here's the inbounds, and a quick 3 by Paxton Deal is off the mark. Rebound grabbed by Gentry Harrell in off the break for Miller. Well, number 3 is Kelby Olson. Here's another deep Shoemaker 3. That one's good. So 14 for Shoemaker. 31-25. Buffs lead is a half dozen. Here's Zeeb cross court to Deal. Paxton top of the key. Caught reaching across is Isaac Hunter. His second. Be Hunter's second. Inbounds down in the right corner for Noah Baldwin in off the break. And then also Wyatt Mortensen has the ball knocked away. Saved in by Harrell, but picked up by Zeeb. But Zeeb on the drive to the basket is good. Zeeb's got 11 in the game, 33-25. The lead for Stanley County's back to 8 with 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Here's Shoemaker out near the logo at midcourt, but I wouldn't be surprised to see him pull it from out there. 33-25, an 8-point lead here for Stanley County. Here's a 3 by Anson. That one's no good. Rebound grabbed by Kelby Olson. Here's a ball knocked away. Hunter almost had the steal, but able to come over to collect it is Wyatt Mortensen. 90 seconds to play in the half. There's a nice fader by Zeeb on the baseline. He's got a half dozen in the quarter. 13 in the game. And the lead is back to 8, 33-25 Buffaloes. Here's a pass intended for Shoemaker over his head and out of bounds. So a turnover back to Stanley County. Holding things up a little bit as they'll make a late change. The Rustlers going to bring Nelson back in, bring Anson out. So So Stanley County with the ball in a 10-point lead, 35-25. Zeeb cutting backdoor. Hunter there to slap that pass away. Minute 7 left in the half. 35-25 Buffs. 25 on the shot clock here as they will inbound again after Hunter knocked the ball out. They'll get it into Zeeb, and Zeeb goes right up and in. 8 in the second quarter. 15 in the game for Zeeb. And the lead is the biggest it has been for Stanley County, 37-25. And here's a foul on Brock Zeeb. That'll be his first. That'll be 4 on Stanley County in the second quarter, and they did it again. They committed 3 fouls in the first 80 seconds of the quarter, and then not another one until the final minute. Inbounds, Brueggemann out to Shoemaker in the center circle. Miller. And now we got a quick timeout on the floor because the post hole cover for the volleyball popped out. So they'll fix that, and the Rustlers will inbound. The officials going to get together real quick. I don't know if they're talking time or... So now we have free throws. Oh, because that's the 5th foul of the quarter for Stanley County. So Miller going to get a couple of free throws. Derek Brueggemann will shoot him. Brueggemann, the only starter not to score yet tonight, or that was the case as he knocks down the first. So Brueggemann with a make here can cut it back to 10, and he does. 37-27. Stanley County leads. Montana to the other end. Here's Zeeb, the hot hand in the corner. Montana, Zeeb all the way to the basket. Scoops it up. It won't go, but a foul is called. And Zeeb going to shoot a couple of free throws. The foul is on Davin Nelson, his second.
Davin Nelson, second personal, second team.
So 39 seconds to play in the half. Buffalo's a 10-point lead. Zeeb going to get a couple of free throws. First is up and in. Zeeb perfect from the line at 4 out of 4. He's got 9 in this quarter, 7 in the opening quarter, so he's got 16. Montana's got 19, and actually will put Zeeb at 17 as he just knocks down his 5th consecutive free throw. Back to a 12-point lead for Stanley County. Miller, about 5 seconds differential here between the shot clock and the game clock. Left side, here's Gentry Harrell. Harrell looking for the finish, and a double dribble called as the Rustlers turn it back over to Stanley County with 28 seconds to play here in the first half. Buffalo's a 12-point lead, 39-27. That matches their biggest lead, and now Stanley County, final shot of the second quarter here, can extend their biggest lead. Montana guarded by Shoemaker on the left wing. They were kind of looking for a screen there. Montana lost it out of bounds. Got a little too fancy on the dribbling. And Miller will inbound with now 12 seconds to play in the first half. Down by a dozen. They'll bring it into Shoemaker. Shoemaker guarded by Montana. Alex across the timeline. Here comes Hunter for the screen. Alex the drive. High off the glass. It won't go. Hunter there to clean it up. The putback won't go, and that's it for the first half. Missed opportunities, the story of this game so far for these Miller Rustler boys. At the half, they trail by a dozen. Halftime of the boys game, Stanley County 39, Miller 27. Halftime show in 3 minutes. 3 minutes on KOKK.
I scream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream. Dairy Queen's ice cream, of course. Get your favorite cool treats at Dairy Queen of Huron. Get a chocolate dipped cone, a dilly bar, hot fudge sundae, or their famous DQ blizzards. And for parties, anniversaries, or any occasion, order a DQ cake or a DQ blizzard cake. Dairy Queen of Huron is open every day of the week. Drive up, carry out, or dine in. Dairy Queen of Huron. Hot eats and cool treats.
Do you know what your cattle are eating? Are they growing like you expect? At Dakota Land Feeds, their experienced feed consultants can help you be sure your cattle are getting everything they need to perform and what will help you increase your bottom line. Let Dakota Land Feeds help formulate the right ration to fit the needs of your cattle, whether you have growing calves, feedlot cattle, yearlings, or beef cows. Dakota Land Feeds has feed consultants across the territory to help serve you. See your local Dakota Land Feeds dealer today.
Stretch's Well Service Incorporated would like to wish the Hitchcock-Tulare Patriots the best of luck in today's game. Stretch's Well Service does jobs all over South Dakota, including installation of artesian, shallow, and geothermal wells, and pump repair, installation, and irrigation work. Stretch's Well Service is your TNL irrigation dealer. Get a hold of Stretch or Jeremy and see what they can do for you. Stretch's Well Service of Hitchcock says, "Go Patriots!"
Cheddar Feedlot of Hitchcock is now selling bred heifers, Black Angus, Red Angus, Fancy F1 Baldy, A1 to Black, and A1 to Charlet. All cattle are ultrasounded for 21-day cycles. Call Tony for viewing at 605-350-0401. Cheddar Feedlot now selling bred heifers. Call them today. Again, call Tony, 605-350-0401. Go Patriots!
Are you ready for a new era in orthopedic care? HRMC introduces Dr. Kevin Hofer, a proud Huron native, bringing revolutionary orthopedic care to our community. Dr. Hofer offers expertise in robotic-assisted surgery for less pain and a faster recovery. Superior orthopedic care is available locally. Join us in welcoming Dr. Hofer and embracing the future of orthopedics. HRMC, the right care is right here.
Want a brand new vehicle? Need a low monthly payment? At Olympic Chevrolet Buick GMC in Huron, it's the least we can do. Leased vehicles mean reduced maintenance costs and tax benefits. Save on a new Buick Encore GX. Lease now only $399 a month. Or choose a 2024 Chevy Trax. Lease for only $299 a month. Drive home a new GMC 1500 Crew Cab. Lease for $642 a month. It's the least we can do. At the new Olympic Chevrolet Buick GMC in Huron. New name, same great service.
This is Dakota Sports, committed to excellence in sports broadcasting. It's halftime.
It is, and welcome back to Miller, where the Miller boys trail Stanley County here at the half, 39-27. Miller took an early lead in this ball game. Stanley County came back at the end of the opening quarter. A big run by Montana. He went on an 8-0 run of his own to get his team a 5-point lead after a quarter, 22-17. They stretch it to a dozen at the break, 39-27. The show was Caden Montana for about 13 minutes, and then Brock Zeeb would take over. Zeeb had a nice opening quarter as well. We'll talk more about that here during the halftime show. For Miller's, kind of like the girls, all 5 starters scored in the opening half. Everybody chipping in, just going to need a little more, going to have to finish a few more in the second half of play. Scoreboard updates, of course, brought to you by the Mirror Family Hair Care, downtown Huron. Lori and Kylie at the Mirror, offering styles for the entire family. Cuts, colors, waxes, perms, hair treatments, shampoo sets, eyelash extensions, hair removal. What are you looking for? Lori and Kylie at the Mirror to serve you. They're at 35 4th Street Southeast, downtown Huron. They do accept walk-ins. For an appointment at the Mirror, you can call Lori at 605-883-HAIR or call or text Kylie at 605-553-1628. That's the Mirror Family Hair Care, downtown Huron. Taking a look at some scores from earlier tonight, we have JV scores for Miller. Stanley County beat Miller in the boys' JV game 55-32. Miller's JV won the girls' game 33-14. Miller girls varsity defeats Stanley County in the earlier matchup 46-38. And here at the half, the Stanley County boys leading Miller 39-27. Faulkton comes up with a win tonight over Wessington Springs by the final of 43-37. And Iroquois Lake Preston dominating Oldham Ramona Rutland with about 7 minutes to play. Iroquois Lake Preston leading 57-26. See if there's any boys action tonight. Freeman Academy Marion leading Mitchell Christian 47-40 after 3 quarters. Faulkton and Wessington Springs getting ready for a boys matchup. Kimball White Lake leading Mount Vernon Plank 45-42 with 4 minutes to play. St. Thomas More got a win tonight over Warland, Wyoming, 51-50, the final in that one. Not a lot of scores to pass along. Of course, the Tigers off tonight, and I think that'll just about fill out the scoreboard there. Scoreboard updates are brought to you by the Mirror Family Hair Care, downtown Huron. Halftime here in Miller, Stanley County's boys leading Miller 39-27. Back to the studios for 2 minutes. We'll come back with your individual scores, and we'll be about ready for a second half of basketball. Again, Stanley County leads the boys game 39-27 at halftime. Back in 2 minutes. 2 minutes on KOKK.
When is the right home truly the right home? This is Reg Kleinsasser with the Real Estate Connection. First, can you afford it? Beyond the purchase price, you need to consider utility costs, maintenance costs, and property taxes. All of these factors add to the actual cost of a new home. Does the home meet your needs? Buying a large house when your kids are heading off to college in a few years or paying for a view of the lake when you are hardly home probably doesn't make sense. At the Real Estate Connection, we are dedicated to helping you find a home that meets your needs without breaking your budget. We're ready to help you find the right home today. Give us a call, 352-1300, or visit our website, realestatehuron.com.
Stop into Shooter's Saloon in Woolsey today for some good food, good drinks, and great time. Shooter's has new hours. They're open Monday through Friday, 3 to close, with the kitchen open 4 to 10. Shooter's is now open Saturdays, noon to close, with a lunch special and appetizers available noon to 4. Be sure to follow their Facebook page to find the weekly special and any drink specials they may be having. You can still get all their normal menu items like their delicious ribeye dinner, and of course Shooter's famous homemade pizzas 4 to 10 p.m. Monday through Saturday. Make your next stop at Shooter's Saloon in Woolsey.
Wilbur Ellis is a leading provider of innovative solutions in plant protection, plant nutrition, and field technology. They offer premier products and one-on-one relationships with local field experts to help their customers grow. Wilbur Ellis is committed to bringing you and your operation new and innovative ideas. Contact your local Wilbur Ellis specialist today to find out how to maximize your return on investment. Wilbur Ellis wishes all area high school athletes the best of luck this season.
Action news on the scene. Once again, a craft of some sort has crash landed. I can see movement coming from the craft. Is it the sun? It is. It's confirmed and emerging now exactly what we thought. It is the sun. Ty Clark has just emerged from the craft. He's the son of Kent Clark. And yes, they're teaming up like Superman and Boy Wonder. Father and son finally together. Kent Clark Insurance, Wessington. Equal opportunity provider. 458-2281. For your crop insurance needs.
You're tuned to Dakota Sports on KOKK.
First half, look at the numbers here for this boys basketball matchup. Stanley County comes in, season opener on the road here at Miller. 3 players have scored in the half. Q Bourne put up 3. He was 1 of 2 from the line. But the story has been Brock Sieb, the 6'5 senior, 17 points in the first half. He had 7 in the first, 10 in the second. He's 5 of 5 from the line, and he's not even the leading scorer. That'd be Caden Montana. Montana hit 3 threes in the first half and went for 19 points. So they combined for 36 points in 16 minutes of basketball. Buffs score 39. They go 6 of 7 from the line, and they lead by 12. For Steve Shoemaker and his Rustlers, all 5 starters scored. 2 apiece for David Nelson and Derek Brueggemann, all from the line. They're both 2 of 2. Isaac Hunter, 5 points for the Rustlers. He's 1 of 2 from the line. Trayton Anson put in a 2 in each of the first 2 quarters. He's got 4. And Shoemaker leads the Miller Rustlers. Alex has 14. He knocked down a couple of threes in the half. Miller scored 17 in the first, 10 in the second, 27 in the half. They go 5 of 6 from the line. And they come out of the break trailing by a dozen as we get set for a second half of boys basketball. Live from Miller here on KOKK. Also, of course, live on the web. You got video action. You got audio there. Go to HuronRadio.com. Get the scoop on that. A bunch of ways to check out Dakota Sports. Getting ready for the second half as Stanley County going to inbound. We'll bring it in, and we are back underway. Top of the key, here's Montana. Drives on Shoemaker. Lost it on the way. In fact, I thought traveled, but just ended up losing it out of bounds. Stanley County going full court pressure here as the Rustlers had kind of a tough time with it in the first half. Hunter, Shoemaker. Shoemaker hassled by Deal, and they'll call Paxton Deal for the foul.
Foul number 11, Paxton Deal. First personal, first team foul on the Buffaloes.
7:45 left in the third, just underway in the second half. Lead of a dozen. Here's a ball poked away from Shoemaker by Bothwell, but Alex able to collect it. Shoemaker out near the timeline. Screen from Hunter. Alex all the way to the rack and scoops it up and in. Shoemaker determined to put it down on that one. He's got 16. Lead is back to 10 for Stanley County. Bothwell on the wing. Inside for Bourne. Gives it back. Bothwell high off the glass. Too strong. Rebound Anson ahead to Shoemaker. Long lead pass for Hunter. Nice dish there. Hunter tried the reverse layup. Knocked away by Zeeb. Kicked over to Deal. Paxton trying coast to coast. He can't finish. Montana there to clean it up, but he stepped out of bounds. And Miller will inbound. A minute gone in the third. 39-29. Buffs lead by 10. Shoemaker ready to bring it in for the Rustlers. Full court pressure again. And Stanley County has caused a little havoc for the Rustlers with this full court press. Here's Shoemaker across midcourt. Brueggemann. Brueggemann finds Nelson, who flips it inside to Anson. Anson triple teamed back outside to Hunter. Now Shoemaker just right at the top of the key. Montana comes out and he's going to get a foul. Oh, actually that's Bourne. And it's his third. Second of the half here. Second of the third quarter, I guess. Brueggemann ready on the inbounds. Will bring it into Shoemaker in the backcourt. Brendan Bothwell out to defend, and Buffs have ratcheted up the defensive intensity a little bit. Here's Shoemaker, another drive, and another one off the window. 18 for Shoemaker. Here's a drive by Zeeb, and Zeeb got pulled down by Anson, pulled down kind of hard. Coach wants a technical, but I don't think he's going to get it. I don't know if he might possibly get a flagrant, I guess. The officials are talking it over. And Zeeb got pulled down, and he's just kind of slow to get up. Came down on that one arm. Joey Fisher having a word with a couple of the officials, but he won't get any definitive call that he wanted.
Third personal, first team.
The foul's on Davin Nelson. It'll be his third. And Zeeb going to get a couple of free throws here. 39-31, Buffs by 8, 6:20 to play third quarter. First free throw for Zeeb is short. He was perfect to that point. Now 5 out of 6. The team is 6 out of 8. Zeeb ready for his second. Airborne, and that one is no good. Offensive rebound, though. Montana can't hit the putback. Rebound Anson, and here come the Rustlers. It'll stay an 8-point lead, and here's another foul on Bothwell as he bodied up Shoemaker across the timeline. So Bothwell will pick up his fourth. That'll bring Weston Prince back in off the bench. As I don't know, maybe that's the strategy. Come out and just absolutely body them the first minute and a half, 2 minutes of the quarter. Ring up your fouls right away, and then just kind of back off a little bit. Shoemaker all the way to the basket. Here's another foul, and he's going to shoot some free throws.
Foul number 4, Brock Zeeb.
Fouls on Brock Zeeb, his second. Fourth on the Buffs here in the third quarter. So 6:05 to play in the third. And the Rustlers almost in the bonus. Shoemaker is good on the first free throw as the Rustlers just kind of quietly, slowly inching back into this one. It's a 5-0 run to start the third. Stanley County has not scored yet here in the third quarter. Shoemaker will knock down both free throws. A half dozen to start the third. He's got 20 in the game. And now is the game's high scorer. Deal driving baseline. Ball knocked out of bounds by Hunter. Well, the Rustlers' biggest deficit was a dozen, and that would be to start the second half here. Chipping away, a 6-0 run. Inbounds, Montana wants a deep three, and boy, that one came up way short, and it was because Shoemaker fouled him. So Alex will pick up his second, and Montana will get 3 free throws. Oh, maybe it's just 2. First free throw is good. So Montana now 20 points to match Shoemaker. Buffs are 7 out of 10 from the line. That was Montana's first attempt. Second is up and good. And Montana will get one more. 21 on the night for Montana. Lead is back to 8 for Stanley County. Montana good on all 3. 42-33, Buffaloes by 9. 5:45 left in the third. Shoemaker the backcourt, the inbounds, and they trapped him. Now they got Anson trapped at the timeline, and now Zeeb is going to get a technical because he spun Davin Nelson around and kind of pushed him into the scorer's table. If he doesn't get a technical, it'd be a shame. Maybe they'll offset technical somehow. I don't know. We'll see. Zeeb is definitely going to get one, though. He slammed, kind of pushed Nelson into the scorer's table.
Technical foul on number 4, Brock Zeeb.
Yeah, it'll be Zeeb. So that's his third. That's the 5th on the team, too. So Shoemaker's going to get a couple of free throws here. The Buffs are getting Blaze Frost up off the bench as Shoemaker is no good on the first free throw. So 20 for Shoemaker. He's 2 out of 3 from the line. The team's 7 out of 9. Shoemaker's second is up and in. So 21 for Alex Shoemaker. The technical foul results in a couple of free throws. Zeeb is going to come out with his third personal. And Joey Fisher's having a talk with the officials about what constitutes a technical foul. And he must have got what he wanted to hear because the Rustlers back underway. Rustlers with possession after the tech. An 8-point Stanley County lead, 42-34. Here's Hunter to Shoemaker. Deep three, no good. Anson thought he had the rebound. Davin Nelson ended up with it, and I think it was because somebody pushed Trayton Anson in the back. Yeah, so Anson's going to get a couple of free throws as Blaze Frost will pick up his first. That is, however, more than 5 on the Buffs, so they're going to get Miller's going to shoot free throws every whistle for the rest of this third quarter. 5:25 still to play in the third. First free throw for Anson is good. Well, Zeeb didn't get much of a break after the tech. He is back on. That'll bring Paxton Deal out. Zeeb and Davin Nelson right away went right to the words. I don't know if it was friendly or not, but they were definitely talking about it. Anson knocks down both free throws, 42-36, an 8-point lead or 6-point lead for Stanley County. Here's Q Bourne. Drive to the basket, leaves it for Zeeb. Zeeb from 8 feet on the baseline. That one's good. Zeeb with 19 in the game. 44-36, Stanley County by 8. Brueggemann across the timeline. Pass to Anson. Anson kicks it back out to Hunter. Hunter, the drive, runs right at Zeeb. Oh, and halfway down the can, and it rolls out for Isaac Hunter. Rebounds Bourne. Bourne on the right wing for Blaze Frost. Frost drives baseline, back to Bourne. Bourne right corner, drives in, leaves it for Zeeb. Zeeb a free throw line jumper. Off the front of the iron. Offensive board, grabbed by Bourne. Bourne can't hit the putback. Rebound Shoemaker. Shoemaker back across midcourt. 44-36. Here's Shoemaker, a three, top of the key, and it is good. What a game for Alex Shoemaker. He's got 10 in the quarter, 24 in the game. Caden Montana, 22. Brock Zeeb, 19, as we've got some Oh, and here's Shoemaker stepping in the way of a pass. The steal, the layup at the other end is good. Shoemaker lighting it up. 44-41, Buffs by 3. Midway point of the third. Fisher wants a timeout, and we'll do it too. Rustlers back to within 3. Midway point of the third. We'll take a minute. Back in, nope, make it 30. We'll take a 30-second timeout. 30 seconds on KOKK.
Brushing up? Bettering yourself? Or pursuing a degree? Huron Community Campus offers in-person classes at just $40 per credit hour plus fees. HCC offers courses through Northern State University, offering quality education at an exceptional value. To learn more, call Huron Community Campus at 605-353-8518. That's 605-353-8518.
You're tuned to Dakota Sports.
Welcome back to Miller, where the Alex Shoemaker show is on. He's got a dozen in the third. He's got 26 in this ball game. Miller was down a dozen to start the third. They now trail 44-41. Montana, step back 3, got it. Caden Montana with 25 points. He's hit 4 threes in the game. He's 3 of 3 from the line. Shoemaker across midcourt, pass inside. Brueggemann looking for Anson, is knocked out of bounds by Zeb. 47-41, Buffs by 6. 3:38 to play in the third. Shoemaker brings it into Hunter. They get it back to Alex in the corner. No time for 3. Montana out quickly to defend. Alex will take it to the center. Drives, stops at the top of the key, and knocks down another 3. Unbelievable. He's got 29. Montana's got 25. And don't forget about Zeeb. Zeeb's got 19. The difference here, Zeeb and Montana are doing all of the scoring for Stanley County, and everybody kind of chip it in for Miller. Foul here's on Isaac Hunter, his third. Set to inbound. Blaze Frost. Frost the inbounds to Deal, back to Montana. Montana top of the key, drives, free throw line, left-hand side, jumper won't go. Brueggemann the rebound. Miller down 3, chance to tie here. Brueggemann, Shoemaker. Shoemaker gonna drive, blocked at the point by Mortensen, or excuse me, no, number 20, Austin Boxley, and they'll get a whistle for that.
Number 10, Kate Montana.
Oh, they called it on Montana. Second on Montana will mean Shoemaker free throws. He's got 15 points in this third quarter. Make it 16. And he's got 30 in the game. Buffalo's still a 2-point lead, 47-45. Shoemaker's second is up and in. This kid is on fire. 31 points through about 3.5 quarters for Shoemaker. Here's the ball knocked away by Brueggemann, a near steal, but he can't get it before it gets into the stands. And the near turnover will mean a Stanley County inbounds on the far sideline. They'll have Frost to bring it in. Frost in the backcourt for Paxton Deal. Deal left wing back to Frost. Left corner, Montana, deep 3, no good. Rebound, Hunter. Hunter for Shoemaker. Rustlers a chance to regain the lead. 47-46 Stanley County. Inside to Anson. Fouled by Boxley. So Anson will go to the line with 2:24 to play in the third. Chance to tie or maybe even put him ahead. Boxley's foul is his first. Well into the bonus are the Miller Rustlers. Trayton Anson a couple of free throws. The first is good. Comes Noah Baldwin back in. Baldwin going to replace Boxley. Also getting in for the first time tonight is number 12, Eddie Duffy. Free throw here from Anson. That one is good, and the Rustlers have regained the lead, 48-47. They trailed by a dozen coming into this third quarter. Pass inside, tip, nearly stolen. Montana's going to come away with it. Tried to get it to Zeeb, and a foul on Hunter, and that's going to be his fourth.
That was number 24, Isaac Hunter.
So Hunter's fourth will get him a rest. Gentry Harrell will come in. 2:14 left in the third. Miller's lead is 1, 48-47. Stanley County's lead was a dozen. Here's Montana, another three. It's good. Montana 9 in the quarter, 28 in the game. Stanley County back up 2, 50-48. Across the timeline is Davin Nelson. Nelson trapped in the corner, gives it off to a cutting Anson. Anson, nice up and under. He gets the basket and the foul. 10 in the game for Anson. He'll have a chance here at another. Foul is on Eddie Duffy, his first. Anson's free throw is dead off the heel, no good. Anson 4 out of 5 from the line. Tied at 50 with 1:45 to play in the third. Here's a cross-court pass intended for Montana. Turnover. So Davin Nelson will inbound. 1:45 left in the third. Miller has come storming back. 23 third quarter points after a 27-point first half. And we're tied at 50. Brueggemann breaks baseline up to Shoemaker. Almost threw it away. Alex able to climb the ladder and haul it in. Shoemaker calls out the play. Montana pokes it away from behind. Picked up by Duffy. Long pass ahead to Montana. Layup good. Well, Caden Montana, 11 in the quarter, 30 in the game. 52-50, Buffs by 2, 1:05 left in the third, and Montana whistled for his third foul. So that'll mean free throws again for Shoemaker. $17 points in this third quarter for Alex Shoemaker, 31 in the game. And the first is good. Second free throw on the way, front iron, and it crawls up and in. He got the hometown roll. 1:05 to play, third quarter. We are tied at 52. Ball nearly knocked away from Montana. It was a near steal, and now it is a steal. Brueggemann comes away with it. Can't quite control it. 4 players on the deck. Zeeb came away with it. Did they get the timeout? They did. So Stanley County will have the ball. With 51 seconds to play in the third, we're tied at 52. Stanley County, a full timeout, will take a minute. Back in a minute on KOKK.
With nearly 130 stores in 12 states, Slumberland has the buying power to bring you the best values from the nation's top furniture brands. Slumberland is America's #1 dealer for Lazy Boy furniture. Slumberland is also the Midwest's largest retailer for Sealy, Simmons, Stearns & Foster, and Tempur-Pedic mattresses. Slumberland of Huron is completely locally owned and operated. Our staff, including sales and delivery, is made up entirely of your neighbors in Huron. So for the best brands at the best prices, along with truly local service, turn to Slumberland Furniture of Huron.
Hi, I am Tyson Lean. As a college wrestler, I push my body to the limit every day. But after a few injuries, I started to feel like I wasn't performing at my best. That's when I turned to Carr Chiropractic and their team of experts. Through a combination of adjustments, rehab, and natural supplements, I was able to recover faster, reduce my pain, and improve my overall performance on the mat. Whether you're an athlete or just looking to improve your health, I highly recommend giving Carr Chiropractic a try.
You're tuned to Dakota Sports.
Welcome back to Miller as Stanley County will inbound after the loose ball grabbed by Zeeb and then a timeout by Fisher. So Stanley County with the ball tied at 52. Backdoor cut, Zeeb gets the pass and executes the basket. 21 for Zeeb on the night. Buffs back up a basket, 54-52. Shoemaker just across midcourt. About 3 seconds differential from the shot clock to the game clock. Shot clock at 20. Shoemaker still on the dribble. Shot clock to 15. Alex directing traffic, calls out the play. Shot clock at 10. Shoemaker going to settle for a deep three, and he got it. Unconscious, unbelievable, absolutely improbable, as Shoemaker is blistering the Stanley County Buffs. He scores 22 points on his own in the third quarter. He's got 36 in a game, and the Rustlers back on top, 55-54. Fourth quarter after a 30-second timeout. 30 seconds on KOKK.
Stretch's Well Service Incorporated would like to wish the Hitchcock Tulare Patriots the best of luck in today's game. Stretch's Well Service does jobs all over South Dakota, including installation of artesian, shallow, and geothermal wells, and pump repair, installation, and irrigation work. Stretch's Well Service is your TNL irrigation dealer. Get a hold of Stretch or Jeremy and see what they can do for you. Stretch's Well Service of Hitchcock says, "Go Patriots!"
Dakota Sports is committed to excellence in sports broadcasting.
Welcome back to Miller, and what a final quarter this should be, as the Miller Rustlers outscore Stanley County 28-15 in the third. Shoemaker has gone out of his mind, 22 points in the third quarter. Add that to 14 in the first half. He's got 36. Not to be outdone, Caden Montana's got 30. And I think Zeeb's got 21. Rustlers, the fourth quarter with the ball. Shoemaker nearly lost it, nearly knocked away there by Bothwell. And now a whistle, I think, will be a Shoemaker timeout. I think Coach Shoemaker got a timeout when Alex went down, so they will now keep possession on the timeout. We'll take a quick 30-second break. About 30 seconds on KOKK.
Cheddar Feedlot of Hitchcock is now selling bred heifers, Black Angus, Red Angus, Fancy F1 Baldy, A1 to Black, and A1 to Charlet. All cattle are ultra-sounded for 21-day cycles. Call Tony for viewing at 605-350-0401. Cheddar Feedlot now selling bred heifers. Call them today. Again, call Tony, 605-350-0401. Go Patriots!
You're tuned to Dakota Sports.
Welcome back to Miller. Well, I've been doing high school basketball for 22, 23 seasons. I don't know if I've ever seen a kid score 22 points in a quarter by himself. Led his team to a 28-point quarter. They scored 27 in the entire first half. Shoemaker had it knocked away, and then Alex trying to reach back in and take it back, and he will pick up a foul, and that's his third. So Stanley County will inbound, 55-54. Miller a 1-point lead. 7.5 minutes remaining. Plenty of ball left to be played here in Miller. Bothwell into deal. Back to Bothwell, top of the key. Montana looks at three, won't settle, drives, can't finish. Rebound Zeeb, put back good. And Zeeb put Brueggemann on his backside there. No whistle on this. 23 for Zeeb. Shoemaker across midcourt, ball nearly knocked away, and it is. It's out of bounds off Stanley County, as Paxton Deal almost had himself a steal, but wasn't to be, as Davin Nelson will inbound here for Miller. They inbounded the backcourt to Brueggemann. Brueggemann guarded out there by Bourne. Bourne has been quiet since the opening minute of this game. He had 3 points right away and just nothing going on since. Here's Montana with a steal and an open look at the basket. He'll lay it in for two. Caden Montana with 32 points. Rustlers trail by 3, 58-55, and Shoemaker steps out of bounds as Paxton Deal employing the cheap suit defense. Miller wanted a foul on Deal, but didn't get the call, as Brendan Bothwell will inbound for Stanley County right at the scorer's table. They'll bring it in the backcourt to Paxton Deal. 6:40 to play, 58-55, Buffs by 3. Montana from the corner, drives, 10-footer, no good. Rebound tipped once by Zeeb and tipped out to Davin Nelson. Shoemaker, long pass for Brueggemann. Brueggemann cuts it back, drives the lane, blocked by Montana, but he got it back. Kicks it out to Hunter. Hunter the runner, too strong off the heel. Rebound grabbed by Hunter and Anson. And did they call a travel? He did. So Anson and Hunter got kind of tied up for the ball, and apparently Hunter took a couple of steps while they were sharing possession. So a travel back to Stanley County. Buffs lead by 3, 6:10 to play here in Miller. Zeeb along 2, no good. Rebound tipped, well, almost out. Paxton Deal tried to save it in and did. Nice steal, a nice save there by Deal. Paxton able to save it in off of Davin Nelson as he was flying out of bounds. And Stanley County will hold on to the basketball. And a 3-point lead, 58-55. They inbound to Zeeb. Zeeb going to work on Hunter, turns and fires, good. Brock Zeeb with 25. Shoemaker shy of the timeline, getting absolutely hassled and cannot get a call. Here's Hunter in the corner, Brueggemann for 3, and he got it. Derek Brueggemann's first field goal is a huge 3 with 5.5 minutes to play. Buffaloes lead 60-58. Baseline drive, they leave it again for Zeeb. This time he can't finish. Rebound tipped and Shoemaker has it. Shoemaker the other way, just across the timeline. Long 3, no good. Rebound Montana. Montana ahead to Zeeb. Zeeb, lob on the baseline for Bothwell. Bothwell going to fade away a deep 2, no good. Anson the rebound. 5:10 remaining. Buffalo's a 2-point lead, 60-58. Talk about performances. 36 points for Shoemaker. Montana's got 32. Zeeb's got 24. Shoemaker, another runner, is good. Put him at 38. Also ties us at 60. Paxton Deal across midcourt for Stanley County. Right wing for Montana. Montana trying to feed Zeeb inside, but they keep it out to Bourne. Bourne the drive. He tried to leave it for Zeeb. Almost stolen by Hunter. Zeeb able to muscle it up and in. Zeeb with 10 in the second half, 27 in the game. And the Buffs back up 62-60. Here's Anson's pass to Shoemaker and a foul on Bothwell. So Brendan Bothwell is going to foul out of this game. He'll foul out with 4:19 remaining. He did not score in the matchup. Weston Prince is going to come in. And I think also back on is Austin Boxley. Brueggemann inbounds to Shoemaker. Now Paxton Deal over to defend. Or is that Prince? Yep, that's Weston Prince. Right wing Anson, right corner Hunter. Hunter to Brueggemann. Midway point of the fourth quarter, 4 minutes to play in regulation. Rustlers down 2. Shoemaker the drive. The finish ain't counting, but he will go to the free throw line. And the foul's on Caden Montana, and that is his 4th, so they'll have to, I would assume, kind of keep an eye on him. He is their leading scorer with 32 points, although Zeeb right there, they got him on the board for 26. I got him for 27. First free throw is no good for Shoemaker. Rustlers as a team are 16 of 20 from the free throw line. They went 11 of 13 in the third quarter. Shoemaker's second is up and in. And that'll put Alex at 39 points. Buffs a 1-point lead, 62-61. On the left wing, here's Boxley. Pass inside for Zeeb. Back outside Montana. The drive, kicks it right corner for Deal for 3. No good. Rebound at the free throw line comes down to Gentry Harrell. Harrell back to Shoemaker. Buffalo 62, Rustlers 61. 3.5 minutes to play in regulation. Here's a Shoemaker three, no good. Rebound Zeeb. Zeeb a lob ahead to Montana. Caden tried to shoot it inside. Shoemaker stepped into it and bounced it right back to Montana, so they will hold on to possession. Zeeb pops for three. That one no good. I thought it hit the wire that held at the basket, but I guess not. That would have been out of bounds. Rustlers with the rebound. Shoemaker across the timeline. 3 minutes to play. Buffaloes lead by 1. Here's Hunter. The hesitation, the drive off the window. It's good. Big spot for Hunter. He's got 7. Here's a pass knocked out by Shoemaker. Almost got himself an immediate steal. Instead, the Buffs will inbound on the far sideline. Paxton Deal back in. Bourne is back in as well. Boxley will check out. 2:56 left in the ball game. The Rustlers back on top. 63-62. Here's Montana. The drive. Finish off the window is good. Montana 34 in the ball game. Oh, and here's a steal on the inbounds by Weston Prince. And Prince is fouled on the shot attempt, and that's Shoemaker, and that's his 4th.
Also number 10, Shoemaker.
So he's got 4. Hunter's got 4. Bothwell's already fouled out. Montana has 4. Buffaloes have a 1-point lead, 64-63. And free throws here for Weston Prince. First is good. Buffaloes haven't shot a lot of free throws tonight. They are 10 of 13. Rustlers, by the way, are 17-21. 2:45 to play. Buffalo's up to a 2-point lead on that first free throw by Prince. Weston sets for another. That one is no good, and I don't know if it would have counted anyway. Did somebody step in? Either he'll get another opportunity or it's a miss, and it's a miss. 2-point Buffalo lead, 65-63, 2:45 to play. Shoemaker wants a timeout, so we'll do that. We're back in 30, a 30-second break, 30 seconds on KOKK.
It seems like nothing's built to last these days. Well, here's one that's built to last a long time. Portable creep feeders from Burns Manufacturing in Wessington. These creep feeders are built with convenience and durability in mind. Feed flow is easily adjustable with an agitation bar to prevent bridging and snug-fitting lids. Portable creep feeders from Burns Manufacturing are made locally in Wessington, South Dakota. Put a portable creep feeder from Burns Manufacturing of Wessington into your farming operation.
You're tuned to Dakota Sports.
Scoreboard updates brought to you by the Mirror Family Hair Care. Looks like the only action that we've got any interest in would be Wessington Springs and Faulkton. The Wessington Springs girls earlier fell behind to Faulkton, lost 43-37. The Wessington Springs boys are up on Faulkton with 2 minutes left in the third. The Spartan boys lead 49-37. And that really kind of the only other score directly of interest in our coverage area, listening area. Rustlers the inbounds here, 65-63. The Buffaloes lead, 2.5 to play. Rustlers with the ball. Hunter thought about a three, wouldn't pull the trigger. Now hands off to Shoemaker near the timeline with 10 on the shot clock. Shoemaker gets the screen from Hunter. Alex the drive and an illegal screen on somebody. If that's Hunter, he's done. Although I don't think it is. I think it's Brueggemann. Oh, no, I guess they did say Hunter. So Hunter going to foul out of this ball game. He'll sit out with 7 points. He was 1 of 2 from the line. It's going to bring Gentry Harrell in off the bench with 2:17 to play. The Buffaloes still a 2-point lead, 65-63. Buffaloes with the ball as well. Here's Bourne on the left wing. 2:10 to play in regulation. Deal on the right wing. Top of the key for Montana. Left side back to Deal. Here's Bourne up top. Drives. Fades back. Long two. Won't go. Shoemaker the rebound. Shoemaker across the timeline as now it's Weston Prince out on the D. And They have just decided that they are going to be physical with Shoemaker and just see what he can do. And well, he's responded with 39 points. Here's a deep three. Oh boy, it's good again. This kid is absolutely unconscious. 42 points in this ball game. And again, it's almost overshadowing some other awesome performances. Zeeb's now at 28 as he just gets a basket and one. Montana's got 34. So we'll see who the foul is on Miller. It is an and one for Zeeb. We're going to have 3 kids over 30 and one's going to have 40. Well, he already does. The foul is on Derek Brueggemann, his first. That's 4 on the Rustlers here in the quarter, too, so the next would mean Stanley County free throws. Buffs have committed just 2 fouls in the quarter. So Zeeb with the extra free throw here. He's 5 of 7 from the line. Free throw is good. He's got 9 in the quarter, 13 in the half, and 30 in the game. Montana's also got 30. He's got 34, and Alex Shoemaker's got 42. Buffs by 2, 68-66, a minute 10 to play. Right corner, here's Gentry Harrell. Leaving it out for Brueggemann. Brueggemann on the right wing. Back to Shoemaker. Open, deep three. Got it! Unbelievable! 9 in the quarter, 45 points in the game. He's got 31 in the half. Here is Montana at the other end with the answer, no good, but guess who's there? Brock Zeeb for another offensive rebound. He didn't get the putback, but he will go to the free throw line. And we'll see who the foul is on. Looks like Davin Nelson, that's his 4th. So Rustlers 69 on that deep three from Shoemaker. Buffalo 68 after this opening basket by Zeeb. He's got a couple of free throws here. First is good. Zeeb 7 out of 9 on the night. Tied at 69, and Zeeb a big free throw here. Chance to give his team the lead. And it's good. 70-69, the Buffaloes lead. 45 seconds to play. Across the timeline is Derek Brueggemann. Brueggemann guarded by Zeeb. On the wing, again, they are all over Shoemaker. Shoemaker nearly had it knocked away. Tipped by Nelson back into Alex's hands, and now a whistle on Stanley County. It'll be on Weston Prince, his 2nd. So now the shot clock is off, and the Miller Rustlers, should they want to, can hold for the final shot and possibly a win. 70-69. The Buffaloes lead by 1. 30 seconds to play. Miller with the ball, and again, the shot clock is off. Shoemaker calling out the play. Here comes Harrell to set the screen. Are they going to get him on another moving screen? They did. So Gentry Harrell, the first foul of the night. It wasn't his second moving screen. It was the second or maybe third one they've called here in the quarter. So the turnover inside of 20 seconds to play, back to Stanley County. Buffs lead 70-69. Miller going to have to foul, and it'll be Gentry Harrell.
Foul number 20, Gentry Harrell. His 2nd personal foul.
45 for Shoemaker. 34 for Montana, 32 for Zeeb. Some crazy performances here tonight in this one. Montana at the line is perfect in 3 attempts. He will shoot a pair here, and the first is up and good. So if you think he hits this shot, it's a 3-point game. You think anybody but Shoemaker is going down the court to take that 3, I'd call you crazy. Montana knocks down the second, and it's all set up. Buffalo 72, Rustlers 69. 18 seconds to play. Miller will inbound, go the distance to the court, and either hit a 3 or will lose their opening matchup here in regulation. We'll take a quick 30-second timeout. Back in 30 seconds on KOKK.
I scream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream. Dairy Queen's ice cream, of course. Get your favorite cool treats at Dairy Queen of Huron. Get a chocolate dipped cone, a dilly bar, hot fudge sundae, or their famous DQ blizzards. And for parties, anniversaries, or any occasion, order a DQ cake or a DQ blizzard cake. Dairy Queen of Huron is open every day of the week. Drive up, carry out, or dine in. Dairy Queen of Huron. Hot eats and cool treats.
Dakota Sports.
Welcome back to Miller. What a wild one this has been. Buffaloes lead 72-69. Alex Shoemaker has 45 points for the Rustlers, including a 22-point third quarter. He's hit 7 threes in this game. Oh, and by the way, for Stanley County, Caden Montana's got 36 and Brock Zeeb's got 32. It has been a wild, high-scoring affair. So Miller down 3. They'll inbound to Shoemaker in the backcourt, 15 seconds, and you could foul him and send him to the line. He can only get 2, and that's what they did. Well, they fouled him. He won't go to the free throw line. It'll be Weston Prince's third. That is the Buffalo's 4th, so the next whistle would mean free throws, and that, you know, wouldn't be a terrible strategy. Threes is where they have just been absolutely lethal tonight. And that's what they need to tie with 15 seconds left. They'll inbound again into the backcourt for Shoemaker. Shoemaker across the timeline. 10 seconds, just right at the top of the key. Oh, it's a Brueggemann 3 for the tie. No good. Rebound grabbed. Miller's got a hand on it. It's Anson and Davin Nelson. A jump ball is called. Whose ball is it? It's Stanley County's basketball. And that should just about close out a wild matchup here tonight in Miller. They'll get it into Deal, ahead to Bourne. Bourne's going to have to shoot some free throws with 0.8 of a second left. And what a performance by Alex Shoemaker. Looks like it's most likely going to be in a losing effort, but 45 points. Kid scored 22 in the third, hit 7 threes. I don't know what any of the Miller School records are, but I got to believe he's approaching at least one, if not more. Montana will knock down the first free throw. He's perfect on the night at 6 out of 6. Oh, actually, it wasn't Montana, it was Bourne, but Bourne's 2 out of 3, by the way, and Montana's still perfect from the line at 5 out of 5, but that'll make it a 4-point lead. Bourne can't hit the second, but it won't matter. And Stanley County going to escape the Miller High School tonight with a victory. And escape is just the best way I can put it. The final here, Stanley County 73, Miller 69. Post-game show number 2, brought to you by Gary's L Auto Glass, is coming up in 2 minutes. 2 minutes on 12:10 KOKK.
Do you know what your cattle are eating? Are they growing like you expect? At Dakota Land Feeds, their experienced feed consultants can help you be sure your cattle are getting everything they need to perform and what will help you increase your bottom line. Let Dakota Land Feeds help formulate the right ration to fit the needs of your cattle, whether you have growing calves, feedlot cattle, yearlings, or beef cows. Dakota Land Feeds has feed consultants across the territory to help serve you. See your local Dakota Land Feeds dealer today.
Are you ready for a new era in orthopedic care? HRMC introduces Dr. Kevin Hofer, a proud Huron native, bringing revolutionary orthopedic care to our community. Dr. Hofer offers expertise in robotic-assisted surgery for less pain and a faster recovery. Superior orthopedic care is available locally. Join us in welcoming Dr. Hofer and embracing the future of orthopedics. HRMC. The right care is right here.
Want a brand new vehicle? Need a low monthly payment? At Olympic Chevrolet Buick GMC in Huron, it's the least we can do. Leased vehicles mean reduced maintenance costs and tax benefits. Save on a new Buick Encore GX. Lease now only $399 a month. Or choose a 2024 Chevy Trax. Lease for only $299 a month. Drive home a new GMC 1500 Crew Cab. Lease for $642 a month. It's the least we can do at the new Olympic Chevrolet Buick GMC in Huron. New name, same great service.
Gary Zell Auto Glass is a proud supporter of area high school sports and sponsor of the post-game show. Gary and Michael Zell offer mobile glass replacement of windshield, door glass, cars and trucks, even tractor cabs on site. Gary Zell Auto Glass does chip repairs and they process all insurance paperwork. Call 352-0836 or toll free 1-888-852-0355. Gary Zell Auto Glass in Huron. It's time for the post-game report on 1210 KOKK. Brought to you by Gary Zell Auto Glass in Huron. Once again, here's Matt Watson.
Welcome back to Miller, and thank you, sir. This is the Gary Zell Auto Glass post-game report, numero dos. If you don't speak it Espanol, that's number 2. Our second game of the night goes to Stanley County. They defeat Miller by the final of 73-69, but what a wild matchup this was. It was pretty close, throughout. Stanley County jumped out to a 12-point lead at the break. Miller would have raced that with a huge third quarter, mostly from Alex Shoemaker. Now, this was a team effort. This was a pretty good game all around for Miller, but boy, Shoemaker was just absolutely out of his mind. He put up 9 in the opening quarter, 5 in the second. He had 14 at the break, and then he went crazy in the third. He put up 22 points in the third quarter. He went 7 of 8 from the free throw line. He hit 3 threes in the third, 6 total field goals, 3 twos as well. He finishes this game with 45 points, and they come up 4 points shy. And again, on the other side, Caden Montana had quite a performance tonight. He put up 36, and Brock Zeeb had some big shots right at the end there and ended up with 31. So some huge performances here tonight as the Stanley County Buffaloes defeat Miller 73-69. So let's take a look at your scoreboard real quick. Final scoreboard of the night, of course, the scoreboard's brought to you by the Mirror Family Hair Care, downtown Huron. Lori and Kylie at the Mirror offering cuts, colors, waxes, perms, hair treatment, shampoo sets, eyelash extensions. Stop in or call 605-883-HAIR. Again, for an appointment with Lori at the Mirror, call 605-883-HAIR, or you can call or text Kylie at 605-553-1628. The Mirror does accept walk-ins, 35 4th Street Southeast, downtown Huron. The Mirror Family Hair Care. So here's your full scoreboard. JV level tonight. Stanley County won the boys game 55-32. Miller won the girls game 33-14. Varsity scores here tonight in Miller. The girls win. The Miller Rustler girls win the varsity matchup with Stanley County 46-38. And the Stanley County boys win the varsity matchup here 73-69. Taking a look at scores from around the state, we had just a few of interest tonight. Faulkton beat Wessington Springs in girls basketball 43-37. Iroquois Lake Preston beat Oldham Ramona Rutland tonight in girls basketball 63-34. Wessington Springs leading Faulkton in boys hoops after 3 quarters 52-40. And let's see, that ORR game must not have been a doubleheader. So that'll be just about it for the scoreboard. Scoreboard updates brought to you, of course, by the Mirror Family Hair Care, downtown Huron. Post-game report brought to you by Gary Zell Auto Glass. Let's take a 60-second timeout. We'll hear from our post-game show sponsor. We'll pass along some numbers, and we'll sign off from Miller. Again, a 60-second timeout. You're listening to Gary Zell Auto Glass post-game show number 2 as the Buffs win it 73-69. We're back in a minute. 60 seconds on KOKK.
When is the right home truly the right home? This is Reg Kleinsasser with the Real Estate Connection. First, can you afford it? Beyond the purchase price, you need to consider utility costs, maintenance costs, and property taxes. All of these factors add to the actual cost of a new home. Does the home meet your needs? Buying a large house when your kids are heading off to college in a few years, or paying for a view of the lake when you are hardly home probably doesn't make sense. At the Real Estate Connection, we are dedicated to helping you find a home that meets your needs without breaking your budget. We're ready to help you find the right home today. Give us a call, 352-1300, or visit our website, realestatehuron.com.
Gary Zell Auto Glass is a proud supporter of area high school sports and sponsor of the post-game show. Gary and Michael Zell offer mobile glass replacement of windshields, door glass, cars and trucks, even tractor cabs on site. Gary Zell Auto Glass does chip repairs and they process all insurance paperwork. Call 352-0836 or toll free 1-888-852-0355. Gary Zell Auto Glass in Huron.
You're tuned to Dakota Sports on KOKK.
Welcome back to Miller. Gary Zell Auto Glass post-game report number 2. Stanley County outlasts the Miller Rustlers in what was an exciting boys basketball game. 73-69 the final. Buffs win their season opener. Miller goes to 0-1 on this young season. For Joey Fisher and his Buffs off the bench, he got 2 points. Weston Prince hit a couple of free throws. He was 2 for 2. 3 of the starters scored in this ball game. Cuborn put in 4 points. He was 2 of 4 from the line. Brock Zeeb and Caden Montana were the absolute show. Montana put up 36 to lead Stanley County. He hit 3 threes, 4 threes in this game. He was perfect from the line at 5 out of 5. Brock Zeeb scored 31 for Stanley County. He went 7 of 10 from the line. He scored 10 in the fourth quarter, and really the decisive baskets down the stretch were from Brock Zeeb. So again, Zeeb 31, Montana 36, Bourne 4, Prince 2. The Buffs scored 22 in the first, 17 in the second, 15 in the third, 19 in the fourth, 73 points in the game. They go 16 of 21 from the line, and they start off this young season at 1-0. The 5 starters all scored for the Miller Rustlers. Davin Nelson put up 2 of 2 from the line, 5 for Derek Brueggemann. He was 2 of 2 from the line. Isaac Hunter hit for 7, fouled out late in this one. Trayton Anson got to double digits with 10. He was 4 of 5 from the line. But Alex Shoemaker, the story, 8 of 10 from the line. Hit 7 threes in this ball game. Shoemaker went for 45 points in the first game of his senior season. The Rustlers scored 17 in the first, 10 in the second, 28 in the third, again fueled by Shoemaker's 22-point third quarter. They scored 14 in the fourth, 69 in the game. They were 17 of 21 from the line and just barely lose the season opener. 73-69, and again, an amazing performance by Shoemaker with 45, and of course, not to be overshadowed, Caden Montana with 36, Brock Zeeb with 31. Well, we got a lot of people to thank here. We want to thank, of course, Eric Norden and the Miller Rustler girls, Steve Shoemaker and the Miller Rustler boys having a quick talk with us before the matchup. Thanks to the Miller School District for giving us a place to sit, a place to watch this game. Of course, thanks to you, the listener, for tuning in. Thanks to Nathaniel, our engineer back at the studio. We will thank our sponsors in the closing billboard, but we also like to send a special thanks out to the South Dakota Attorney General's Office, Division of Consumer Protection. They bring us the reading of the officials. We also like to send a special thank you to the Mirror Family Hair Care. They bring us our scoreboard updates. And, of course, Gary Zell Auto Glass, special thanks to them as they sponsor the post-game report. Make sure to tune in tomorrow morning on 1210 KOKK. Jeff will have all the scores from tonight's action. He'll have the upcoming schedule. He'll tell you what's going on with Dakota Sports. I know what I'm doing tomorrow. Nothing. I'm back at the back on the mic Tuesday night for some high school hoops. So your final scores here tonight. In the girls' game, the Miller Rustlers pick up the victory, 46-38 over Stanley County. In the boys' game, an amazing performance loss for Alex Shoemaker. He scores 45 points, but his Rustlers lose 73-69. Buffs, by the way, led by Brock Zeeb with 31 and Caden Montana with 36. Some outstanding performances today, all in the opening games of their senior year, I think. Oh, no, Montana's a junior, but some pretty great performances here tonight in Miller. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for being a part of that. This has been a presentation of Dakota Sports on 1210 AM KOKK and live on the web at HuronRadio.com, committed to excellence in sports broadcasting.
Thanks for listening to exciting high school sports. We are Dakota Sports on KOKK. Tonight's coverage has been brought to you by
Area sponsors include Shooters in Wolsey, Wilbur Ellis, Kent Clark Insurance, Huron Community Campus, Slumberland Furniture, Ridge Manufacturing in Wessington, Prostralo Motors, Dairy Queen, Dakota Land Feeds in Huron, Huron Regional Medical Center, Car Chiropractic Clinic in Huron, and the Real Estate Connection. Special thanks again, South Dakota Attorney General's Office, Division of Consumer Protection, for bringing us the officials. Gary Zalato Glass, our post-game report, and the Mirror Family Hair Care, our scoreboard updates. Miller sponsors are Coleman Beers, Bach & Anderson CPA firm, American Family Insurance, and Miller and Huron, Crystal Volkortson Agency, and Miller Pump and Pack. Thanks for tuning in tonight. The Miller girls win over Stanley County 46-38. The Miller boys fall to Stanley County 73-69. Tune in tomorrow. Jeff will have all the scores, all the wrap-ups from tonight. I'll be back with more sports next Tuesday. And, of course, I'll be back in the morning on Big Jim, 6 a.m., and I'll be back right here on 1210 KOKK tomorrow from 1 to 4. For Nathaniel back at the studio, our engineer, for our sports director, Jeff Duffy, and for everybody at Dakota Sports, this is Matt Watson saying good night, everybody.